tensions and beer-fuelled chaos. From fan riots at the 1980 Scottish Cup final to the Heysel disaster years later, things were unsafe and the consequences were disastrous. Then in 1985, Margaret Thatcher's government stepped in. They introduced the Sporting Events Control of Alcohol Act, banning alcohol in view of the pitch across England and Wales. Since then, many fans and clubs have called for the law to be relaxed, especially since other sports don't face the same restrictions. If you're popping down to watch the Red Roses roar at Twickenham, feel free to grab a pint on the way to your seat. Wandering down to Lord's to catch some boundary bashing? Fill your boots with G&Ts. But if you were hoping to cheers your club's promotion to the Premier League with a Prosecco in hand from pitchside, sorry, it'll have to be tea or Bovril. In 2021, it looked like things might finally change. The government commissioned the Crouch Report, a fan-led review into football governance. One recommendation was to allow League Two and National League clubs to lift the alcohol ban to boost matchday revenue. But nothing came of it. Authorities still weren't convinced that fans could be trusted. And then in January 2025, something did change. The Women's Championship, now called the WSL 2, launched a trial allowing fans to drink in the stands. The reasoning? Well, fans at women's matches tend to behave differently. Less aggression, more family-friendly vibes. Now, the women's game is raising the bar, literally. Select WSL and WSL2 stadiums are allowing fans to drink alcohol in view of the pitch. It's been a landmark move showing growing trust in fans and recognising that women's football is building its own culture. So could the men's game be the next to leave the 1980s behind? Well, maybe, if fans can prove they can handle a pint without pitching it at someone. Yeah, don't hold your breath. Until then, it's Bovril all around. Cheers to that.
Good morning to you. Welcome along to the weekend breakfast here on talkSPORT with Shebahn Aherne Tony Cascarino.
Good morning.
Oh, what a day it was yesterday. Michael Carrick's Manchester United stormed to victory in the derby.
Looking for Dorgu, and Dorgu gets on the end of it to finish it. And on the day that Manchester is at its most divided, it's the red half of the town that looks united.
Such a mad time. City were miles off it. What is going on there, Pep? Taking off Haaland, are their title hopes now looking a little bit bleak? We'll discuss all of yesterday's action, including a damaging defeat for Thomas Frank's Spurs at home to West Ham.
We need some of the offensive players also to find the cutting-edge moments. It's no criticism, it's just reality, and that we'll keep searching for.
Spurs fans, let's go. Let's be having you today. 03717 223344 is the number to have your say. Also, Hammers, can you stay up now? Do you kick on from that win? We'll get Cascarino's thoughts, what he thinks for a huge win for them. And is Oliver Glasner in danger of talking himself out of the Palace job 6 months early?
We feel that we are being abandoned completely. If your heart gets torn out twice a season, one day before a game, so with Eze in summer and with your captain now, I've just completely no understanding.
Well, Oliver, that's one way of handing in your notice to the board. So much to get into from yesterday's football, from the Premier League, from the EFL and beyond. It's also day one of the Australian Open tennis. Good eye. All of the updates coming up this morning. And we're going to be talking basketball and golf as well, looking ahead to today's action, including Aston Villa against Everton and Wolves that take on Newcastle, all part of Game Day Live here on talkSPORT. 03717 223344 is the phone number. Pick up the phone, give us a bell, and we can blather about yesterday. 81089 if you want to send a text. It's the weekend breakfast here on talkSPORT. Morning. What a day. I love
I love the word bonkers.
Bonkers.
Honestly, it was one of the most craziest days of just, I was at Stamford Bridge, but obviously had my eyes on Manchester United versus Man City because we could watch it before the game. And then reactions after the results and seeing Spurs have been beaten by West Ham and then Glasner's interview, being abandoned and just unbelievable day. This is a common theme in football, isn't it? Yeah. Where we're literally dealing with story after story after story. Newspapers are loving it. Media are loving it. Radio's loving it.
It's a great day for it, isn't it? It's a great day for the job.
It's just bonkers. I went to bed late last night after a long day. And I woke up and I thought, you don't even need a script today.
No.
I mean, they've done us one, about...
Yeah, thanks, lads. But take the rest of the day off.
But you don't really need one, do you? Because it's so much to talk about.
It's written itself, really, hasn't it, yesterday? Yeah. Unbelievable. It all started at lunchtime here on talkSPORT. It was our 250th commentary of the season, and what a one it was. Here's how the Premier League sounded for you on talkSPORT yesterday.
Manchester United take a 2-goal lead, and on the day that Manchester is at its most divided, it's the red half of the town that looks united.
It's Liverpool 1, Burnley 1, and it's Marcus Edwards who's got it this time. He does shoot from a harder position than he was in a few moments ago, and he finds the back of the net. It's a wonderful effort.
And it will be Cole Palmer, surely, to seal the points for Chelsea, and he fires left-footed into the bottom left-hand corner. Chelsea 2, Brentford 0.
It is Sunderland 2, Crystal Palace 1. The goal machine for Sunderland, Brian Brobby, has hit the ball in the back of the net.
In the first few seconds of stoppage time, Mecha, who scored in 3 successive defeats in November, he has his 5th of the season. It looks like it may well be the winner. Leeds United 1, Fulham 0.
This is astonishing. It's Tottenham 1, West Ham 2. Callum Wilson, the hero for West Ham in the dying moments.
And Arsenal now have a 7-point lead over City and Villa at the end of the season, though. Will they see this as 2 points dropped? To the City ground, Forest 0, Arsenal 0.
Brilliant games yesterday. Huge results for Manchester United, for Leeds, for Sunderland and West Ham. And we wake up this morning with more managers under pressure. We knew it going into the game yesterday, Spurs West Ham, that if there was a loss for either manager, they were very much so looking like they were under pressure. Thomas Frank on the receiving end of that loss yesterday for Spurs. We understand that there's increasing pressure on Thomas Frank and Palace manager Oliver Glasner. Glasner announced his pre-match presser on Friday that he was going to be leaving at the end of the season. And then after the 2-1 defeat to Sunderland yesterday, he called out the board effectively for hanging him and the club out to dry for not investing in the squad. We also believe that he blindsided the board in doing that in Friday's press conference, and then at the weekend it ends up another loss for them. Here's Oliver Glasner after the game yesterday.
Difficult result, difficult for me to accept, not because of the performance. I think 50-60 minutes performance was well. Yeah, then we had 15-20 minutes where we were under pressure, we conceded a goal. Players tried everything until the end. They're leaving their heart on the pitch, but we feel that we are being abandoned completely, and selling our captain one day before a Premier League game. No understanding. We're playing with 12-13 players from our original squad for weeks now, and then that makes it so tough to accept this defeat, because the players they gave everything, and we had no substitution. I was looking on the bench, just kids there, and that's how it is. That's, I think, why we are where we are. And if your heart gets torn out twice a season, one day before a game, so with Eze in summer and with your captain now, I've just completely no understanding.
Oh my God, he went for it, didn't he? He went
off.
There's
a lot of information there. I'm not his biggest fan.
Why?
The way he talks, I'm not talking about his coaching ability. I think he's proven quite easily and comfortably that he can coach a team, but the manager that I saw at Macclesfield that kept turning to his coaching staff on the sidelines and like holding his hands out wide as like, it's not me. If someone missed a chance on the pitch, the manager should be facing his players and trying to get them. And if they miss a chance, get your head up, keep going. No, he was doing the reverse. He was turning to his coaching staff, holding his hands out. It's like, what can I do with this? He mentions the kids. He's chose not to play any of the kids. So he doesn't even know. He's assuming by what he's seeing in training, he's got every right to do that they're not good enough. And the reason why Palace haven't had many kids come through and bolstered the squad is because he's hardly played them. He's stayed with the same team so often under a huge schedule of fixtures, okay? He's not been abandoned. He's had his head turned as a manager because sometimes as players, people are very comfortable saying, the player's had his head turned. He's talked all about what he's not been given and been abandoned, but he's the one who's refused to sign a contract, who has said, well, I'm off.
He spoke there and his language was very clear that we feel we've been abandoned. Who's we? Is we him and the players?
Oh, maybe him and his coaching staff, but I don't see that. I think it's quite clearly, for me, and I said it yesterday, there's something with Glasner that bothers me. I don't think his heart's in Palace, and I think it's been really self-indulgent of how he's handled that squad at times about, I'll play everybody the same 11 as often as I can because I need to win games, and he's run his team into the ground. That's my opinion of it.
I wonder though if Palace might be a basket case. You wonder if they had an excellent season last season. We understand that Steve Parish he controls everything at the club. Perhaps maybe he's not got the right people around him doing the jobs that need to be done. Therefore, it's got to this situation where Glasner's going, actually, I just don't trust what's happening here. I don't feel supported. You know, perhaps something like that's happened because obviously he's a good manager. He's very capable in terms of what he's done at that club. But when you do look at the fact that we knew he was leaving a while ago, we knew that he was available to leave at the end of the season. They've lost Eze. You know, they're losing brilliant players. He's looking and going, but guys, where are the reinforcements coming in? When are you going to back me up? I just won you bloody trophy.
How can you back a manager and say, OK, we'll go and spend 120 million and knowing he's not even prepared to sign a contract? You can't do that, Shebahn. Do you see what I mean?
I disagree, but because they're already looking and going, but wait a minute, what players are coming in to replace these big-time ones that were leaving? How can I work with that? How can you expect the same expectation of what we got last season if you're not going to back me up?
Well, I look at it that when you work for a football club and they pay your salary, you toe the line to a certain degree and you do your best efforts to try and get everybody in the club in the right direction. Have the club supported him enough? No, they haven't. But I think quite clearly this season, they're very concerned about bringing in players. And look, there is a reason why Benteke was a record signing for, it felt like forever, until Brennan Johnson joined the club. You know, they've been quite prudent in, say, at least the Palace are a prudent club in the transfer market. But I think they felt very uncomfortable of going out and spending money on the manager who would have quite clearly a say in who he wants, which is fine, because he's the manager of a football club, what type of player, who he'd like to get in, but knowing that he's not even prepared to sign a contract. Yeah. I think that creates a problem. I said it yesterday, Shebahn. Their reason of not winning in 10 as quite clearly behind the scenes you've seen problems are developing and growing.
Is that not a good thing, though, that he's not committed based on the fact if they're not going to commit to him? All we do is see managers get sacked all the time. He's saying if you're not going to do it this way, likely he's had these conversations with Parish in October, and he's saying, well, no, I'm actually not going to give you the money to spend. And he's like, well, fine, mate, I'm gone.
Well, if the club had gone down the road and gone, well, we buy the players, our recruitment team here decides who we get, you're the coach, you coach them. But he's not been that. He's been fundamental in the way that Palace play. Everything has got his fingerprints over his team selection, the way he plays. They do it really well, Palace. I know it's not happened of late, but for a large portion of the last year or so, Palace have been great at playing that five in the back. Good as anybody.
I agree.
But that's gone now because now we're looking at a team where the manager is made it clear that he's not happy. Okay. But look, I'll give a quick example. Arsene Wenger was a club man, okay? And I knew Liam Brady very, very well. And what Liam Brady always said, Arsene Wenger, when they went to the Emirates, knew that he'd be handcuffed to a certain degree over finance and buying the best and biggest players. Wenger never went to down that road of criticising the club. I need these players. He didn't. He was still supportive of the club. And I don't think Glasner's acted in that way at all. I think he's just basically gone.
Oh, not after yesterday.
No, he's gone. It was an amazing interview.
I won't be shocked. 9 o'clock. He's gone. He's gone. Well, but you can't with that. You can't be the manager after that.
I thought he'd have gone Friday after his interview on Friday before the game. I thought you're doing well to get past this weekend.
It's another loss. They've lost to Macclesfield. He's losing players. He's not signing a contract. He's gone for the board by the jugular yesterday. He's gone.
Do you remember him complaining about Eze when he left?
No.
I don't remember him saying anything.
That, yeah.
So if you're that unhappy, you'd have mentioned, but he's obviously stored it all up and then gone, right, I'm going to talk about Eze, I'm going to talk about Mark Gahey, I'm going to talk about the transfers,
and then he's
talk about the kids, and then I've got nobody on the bench. And then so he's literally put it all out there.
Oh, he left it all out on the table yesterday. Palace fans, give us a call, 03717223344. Is that it? Now the man who's just won you a trophy, turned everything around at the club. Is he gone? I would think so after that yesterday. I don't know how, after the amount of managers we've seen recently losing their jobs because of going against the board, how he stays after that. Also, Spurs fans, what's next for Thomas Frank? He, we believe, is under pressure. His post-match press conference yesterday was positive. He believes he's got the backing of the board. We'll get onto that very, very soon. Coming up next, we'll discuss a winning start for Michael Carrick. You're listening to The Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. We're off and running, baby.
What do you mean? When you nod your head yes,
but you wanna say no. What do you mean? Good morning, it's the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and former Villa striker Tony Cascarino. You were talking about Bieber this morning, weren't you?
Justin Bieber, yeah. What was it? What years was it when he had a load of great singles all come out?
This year.
This year is it?
This.
This. What year was this then?
Guess.
Before 2020, so I would say
2016.
2016. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen this. Well, you don't, because you're the cool guy who doesn't have social media because you don't need it. You don't need the reassurance from anyone else. There's this trend going around of 2016.
Oh, is it? If it's like nostalgia, is that far away?
People are posting a picture of them. I know 10 years ain't that much, is it?
Not really. But by the way, I've had this conversation before, Shebahn. I don't know about you. You go back, just if you keep going back a decade every time, and you see how much your life, the people involved with you in your life, you might say for you it might have been having the kids. You were 10 years in that. How your life has completely changed in that 10-year period. People who have gone, you've lost, and it's crazy, that decade.
It's really deep, right? But when you look back and you think decisions and everything.
Yeah.
Like, did you make the right decision or did you make the wrong decision?
Well, we all make bad decisions. You just have to own them, and I've certainly made terrible decisions.
You sure? Do you want to talk about some of them right now? By the way, here's me in 2016. If you're watching on the smart TV or you're watching on the YouTube channel.
Where were you in 2016?
Apparently at every wedding under the sun. We had about 12 weddings that year and about 40 hen-dos. There's me as the Tin Man. Look at that. When I went into my photo album 2016, this was the first picture come up. Clearly I'm intoxicated there. But what a Tin Man outfit. That's brilliant. I was in Gran Canaria and I held onto the back of a bin lorry that night to get a lift home. Seriously.
Only because I've got to know you quite well. I actually believe you that you probably did.
I think that was the last time I had a terrible hangover. I thought, that's the end of it. I've gone too far. 10 years ago was the last time I got a lift home on a bin lorry. Good times though. Never change. A good decision. Right, good decisions. Michael Carrick to Manchester United. What an unbelievable performance yesterday. Well, at least for the red half.
Almost heaven, West Virginia.
The country road has taken Michael Carrick home to Old Trafford. His job is simple: take them back to Europe. Dallo, and he's a little bit too hefty with his challenge on Doku. It's not a very nice tackle, that. It's a yellow card and no more.
This season, it looks like all the 50-50 decisions have gone against us.
And now it's Mbeumo to finish it. He does. Brian Mbeumo is back from Africa and back on the score sheet.
Absolutely outstanding break.
Comes into the penalty area, looking for Dorgu, and Dorgu gets on the end of it to finish it. And on the day that Manchester is at its most divided, it's the red half of the town that looks united.
The better team won. Congratulate United. When that's happened, I had to accept it, and we're not good enough.
There's the full-time whistle. Old Trafford roars like it hasn't in years. Manchester United have beaten Manchester City by 2-0.
It's one result doesn't change everything, but it gives us a real platform to move forward with. And the boys have got a good feeling. We need to build on it.
Oh, unbelievable. I can't remember the last time I watched a game of football and Jamie and I were up off the couch screaming. The kids were going, Mum, Dad, stop shouting. We're celebrating the game. It was brilliant. What performance, Gav?
Well, I was at Stamford Bridge, and I know he's coming on later, but Crookie was there, and it was hilarious. Some of the comments that he's making, like, there's 75 minutes on the clock and they're 2-0 up, and he's saying, we've got to get through these next 5 minutes. We've got to keep it like this. We've got these next 5 minutes are vital. And I said, what about the 5 minutes after that then, Crookie? That 5 minutes, like, having a bit of a banter with him. But I remember doing a piece on Marseille and talking about Marseille, and it struck a chord with me and a lot of Marseille fans, where on the badge, it says droit au but, which is straight to goal, right? Means attack, that sort of lingo that United fans, bless you, Shebahn.
Thank you.
And that is what United are about yesterday. It was attack. If you saw the first goal, there's four players and an attack. They counter and do it brilliantly, and the positions they got in, that's what Manchester United have to be. So they have to play attacking football. I thought Mbeumo yesterday was one of the reasons why he's such a valuable player, because his work rate is sensational. He will chase every blade of grass. He'll cover ground to get to a player. And Ahmad gave Nathan Ake a really hard time. It was loads of good things. Casemiro was his best game in a United shirt that I've seen. City were literally nullified by what they did, Manchester United. And if you go Cunha and then you go Mbeumo and then you go look at, I mean, Sesko must be scratching his head a bit because Mbeumo played the centre forward role really well yesterday. Because he was always on the shoulder of defenders.
So calm, isn't it?
And his finishing is as good as anybody's at Manchester United. And that's the player I saw at Brentford. You know, that he stepped up and it made United, Kobbie Mainoo in the team as well. It was good to see him look like he'd been released from something, the trauma of what's gone on with his career at Manchester United. He looked like he didn't have his greatest game, but he looked far more Kobbie Mainoo to me.
It was magnificent, I think, all over the pitch. And you're right. I mean, they played as you said it there. They
have to play that way.
And Bryan Mbeumo, welcome back. I love him so much. I love him. I thought he was magnificent. Casemiro as well, as you said there, one of his best games. You know, he's a 5-time Champions League winner and he can be disrespected by a number of people. I think it was Neville said it on commentary yesterday, but he got his legs back for that game. He was absolutely outstanding. And you're right about Kobbie Mainoo. I mean, what an absolute waste of what happened with Ruben Amorim. And also just the system, the way they played yesterday. Yeah. That's the football that Manchester United should be playing. Those are the players to play that kind of
I've always argued, Shebahn, the biggest clubs, whatever country it is, if you are playing conservative, pragmatic football, it's not. They have to play. Manchester United, like other teams, have to play with their history. That's how they played all through the decades.
We're going to talk about Pep soon. Pep Guardiola, frustration obviously for him yesterday. Just quickly, did Dalot deserve a sending off? Was that a red card for you?
Not really. I think it would be very harsh.
Same here.
Yeah.
You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Coming up next, allow us to be frank, we're going to be talking Spurs. Good morning to you. Weekend breakfast here on talkSPORT. We're live on the YouTube channel. We're on the smart TV. If you're at home and you want to stick us on, good morning. It's Shebahn Aherne and former Republic of Ireland striker Tony Cascarino. Some of you know the headlines. Has you right got the winner for Championship leaders Coventry City. They beat Midlands rivals Leicester 2-1 at the CBS Arena. Nigeria also beat Egypt in a shootout to claim third place at the 2025 African Cup of Nations following a goalless draw. And Liverpool only managed a 1-1 draw at Anfield versus 19th place Burnley. By the way, it's 2026. Realised I was stuck in the past there. Liverpool only managed a 1-0 draw at Anfield versus 19th place Burnley. After the game, Arne Slot told talkSPORT his team have dropped too many points this season.
I assume that the fans are also not happy with the amount of points that we've dropped from either winning positions or games we should have won or deserved to win. I don't think we stole a lot of points this season, but we let ourselves down in multiple occasions where the performance was better than the result was. But yeah, the only ones to blame is ourselves. And like I said, today against a team that defended low, which is of course I would do if I were in their position as well. But we were able to create much more than we usually should do. But yeah, it's hard to be positive if we had a draw at home against the promoted side, Burnley.
Not good enough, Cass.
No, I didn't see the game. I've only seen the highlights. It's a continuation of a very difficult season that Arne Slot is finding it very hard to get results. And early on in the season they got over the line late in games. Now they can't do that. And it's been a really tough season so far for Liverpool, even though Liverpool are still fourth in the table, just in front of Man United. And it is just. Look, that fourth place, and I've said all season, Liverpool are not going to be fighting for the title this year. And I still stand by that. And obviously it's easy now because they're quite a long way behind Arsenal and Man City. So there's a big gap after the top three, isn't there? Yeah. You go from Villa and below, it's going to be a real scramble for that fourth spot.
Yeah, not a good enough performance from Liverpool yesterday against Burnley. 03717 223344 is the number to have your say this morning. We're talking Thomas Frank at Spurs in just a moment. He's under pressure there after defeat against West Ham. But also Crystal Palace. I mean, what Glasner said yesterday in that post-match press conference, he really gave it to the board, handed them their backside, saying that he felt unsupported. His heart's been ripped out a couple of times. Surely that's it. Good morning to Michael, the Palace fan. Michael, good morning to you. Where do you see it going from here?
Well, personally, Cascarino's almost 100% correct. First of all, the board is never going to back someone who's going to said they're leaving in last October. But the board really have never invested money previously to any manager. Look at, obviously, Elise, Zaha, Klein, Wan-Bissaka, Moses, all sold for big money and rarely invested. But saying that, Glasner has never truly used any substitution, never trained with them that much, never wanted to use them, never wanted to include them in the team. He's just used and burnt out the same 12 or 13 players all the time, and he's signed his own fate. Don't fire him, don't give him the money, put him on gardening leave and let him wallow. So, really.
Michael, it's a strange ending, isn't it? As in, FA Cup winners, an incredible season, you had some really good performances, and yet it's ending because obviously we don't know the final outcome, but I think it's pretty clear he's said enough now that's really left him in a position there's nowhere to turn for the football club. And I totally agree with you that what you said with Steve Parish has to take some responsibility because they've been redundant in the transfer market generally over the decades, I always feel with. You saw all the other Premier League clubs spending, investing, and Palace have always been incredibly prudent.
Yeah, we've always been a feeder team. We're not going to be ones who's going to spend out of our means. As I say, we've always sold good players for a high price, but never only spent a tiny portion on reinvesting and found young talent. That's how it's always been. That's probably how it always will be.
Michael, thank you so much for your call this morning. We appreciate it. I hear you. But as Michael said there, we've never been a board to really back managers. But the difference is this one won you a trophy. Yeah. So maybe he's looking and going, hold on a minute, I've just changed the trajectory of this club. Yes, he's had a good squad of players there. Yes, another manager might have been able to do it. But if you ain't backing me, I'm not signing your contract.
So, okay, my counter to that, Shebahn, would be if the manager goes and says, look, you're making it impossible for me.
Yeah.
If I can't buy players and I will sign a contract, but you've got to give me commitment. You've got to back me in the transfer market to make this club an improved team.
Yeah.
If he went to the board and said that, I would find that amazing if Steve Parish didn't say, okay, right, we'll have this to spend. We'll let you be in charge most of it, work with our recruitment team, and we'll help you as much as we can to try and find the best Palace team we've ever had. Okay? That hasn't happened. It's more of a case that Glasner's just ranted about what he's not had. It'd be interesting because my immediate for fault. We have our own Simon Jordan here, who talks brilliantly about lots of different stuff. He's been a chairman. He's been a chairman of Crystal Palace. Love to know how he would have handled Oliver Glasner.
Yeah. Can we get Simon on the phone?
But do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he says too much that obviously, rubs people's noses in it. Just makes it hard for him. I'm not saying Steve Parish is this incredible chairman at all. What I'm saying is that couldn't there have been a middle ground somewhere where Steve Parish tries to convince him? He may have well done. But from what we've seen, Palace have been a club that have not spent nowhere near enough over the years.
I mean, communication's obviously gone off somewhere. Glasner spoke about in training, heading into the weekend's game. They had everything prepared with Mark Gahey being a part of it, and then he's told actually he's not. I mean, communication's obviously miles off it. If the manager's not been told this information, he can only work with what he's got. If you're taking your best player from him on match day -1, I'd be looking and going, do you know what? Shove it. Sorry, excuse me. I'd be looking and going, what do you want me to do? Work miracles. So I can kind of see if you don't know the truth, you don't know what's going on.
Well, you're trying to give a benefit of the doubt to the manager as well.
But brilliant manager.
Yeah.
But maybe it's a basket case. Listen, great chat all the same. 03717 223344 is the number. Thomas Frank under pressure as well. Another loss for him against West Ham yesterday. He was asked after the game if he's the right man to turn it around at Spurs.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There was such a good energy in this week with both Connor coming in, John coming in. The boys trained very well. I think you can see in the team they really fight for each other and for the club. They do put everything in there. We just need to to keep going forward. I think it was very clear also with Vinay's letter that there's a lot of things and changes going in the right direction. We are in transitional season with a supertanker we're turning around. We still need to win more football matches. We still need to work unbelievably hard to win more games, and we will do that.
He seems to have said all the right things about his board.
And I'm a fan of Thomas Frank, as in what he achieved at Brentford was extraordinary and he deserved the opportunity. But that doesn't mean that his future is, it has to be in doubt. It has to be, because they've had a really poor season. They've lost a number of games at home. They're on 3 defeats in a row. And he's really finding it tricky to, and losing to a team that's a London rival at home, who are, literally third from bottom in the league.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest points is that goes against any manager is if your faithful crowd lose faith in you, and that feels like that's happening at Spurs and has been happening and growing, and once they lose faith in their manager, Shebahn, it's a really tough one to turn.
Well, somebody who lost faith, I think, a little while ago, because I spoke to him on Friday about it, is podcaster and Inside Spurs co-host Sonny Snelling. Good morning, Sonny. Is this the final nail in the coffin, or are you standing by Thomas Frank?
I just think now, Shebahn, good morning,
Good morning.
Shebahn and Tony, by the way.
Sonny,
yeah.
Hope you're well, because I'm not. I just think it's untenable. It's really untenable for Thomas Frank, because I was just looking at the Premier League table. You just got to look at the teams in and around Spurs. Bournemouth, we've lost to twice. Leeds, narrow win. Forest lost 3-0 drubbing at the City Ground. West Ham lost. Burnley we beat first day of the season. And Wolves, we gave them their first point. To me, Thomas Frank isn't the problem, but he's not the solution. I feel like the whole club is a complete mess, even after Daniel Levy's departure. And we sit here now, another manager, another thing that hasn't worked. We've tried Conte, Nuno, Jose Mourinho. It's just... We pay a lot of money to go over to that stadium. I've said this on Friday to you, Shebahn, and you said to me, Karma will get you, Sonny. I think it's getting me good and proper. That's what I've got to say about that.
Sonny, it's a really hard one to try and defend Thomas Frank when you're losing games. And I said there that if you lose the faithful and, the booing, he knows it's tough times. I just don't know if I can see a way out for Thomas Frank at the moment, because unless... if he survives this week, which might be, a stretcher even in what's happened yesterday, but you've got European games coming up. You've got Borussia Dortmund. You've got, I think, Eintracht Frankfurt as well, haven't you? Is it Eintracht Frankfurt and Burnley? So it's a really important period. If he can get something in the European Cup that just is a positive, I don't even know if he'll get there.
Also,
I just don't see.
Sorry, go on.
I don't see where our next win's coming from. It's like our February run of fixtures. We've got Arsenal in there. It just looks, it's scary. It's one of those things where people keep going, oh, you won't get relegated, and maybe we won't because there might be 3 worse teams. But as I've just listed those teams off there, they could get points against us. Look at Burnley yesterday against Liverpool. They are fighting for their lives. And at the moment, it takes 45 minutes for us to wake up. We're going through the motions. There's no fight. There's no grit, no determination, even at home, which you think in front of these fans who, don't get me wrong, they're not bringing the atmosphere at the moment, but there's nothing to bring an atmosphere because the football is so dire and turgid. Yesterday, he has the audacity to come out and say, well, it could have ended 2-1. We had one Xavi Simons shot that I think Areola saved quite well. But apart from that, we don't seem to, when it went 1-1, go into the ascendancy and look to win these games. And then Callum Wilson, who I thought was leaving. I thought he was basically...
He's going up to Celtic, isn't it?
And he comes on, nearly scores with his first touch. And then, that pay-to-play contract might be getting a few more zeros on the end.
Yeah. Just a quick one as well. Conor Gallagher, how do you think he done yesterday? I didn't see the game. I've only seen the highlights. So, Sonny, tell us what you thought of, as the signing and how he settled in.
I'll be honest, chaotic is what I'd say into that midfield. I think he struggled in parts. His passing wasn't as good. I know he hasn't really played too much for Atletico Madrid this season. I think it'll be a good signing long term. But at the moment, you could list off a handful of names. Kudus hasn't been used properly. Bergvall's been misprofiled. I think Thomas Frank has yet again convinced someone to come to the club who I don't know how he wants to use him, and it's such a shame.
I mean, like you say, big week coming up for them, but Kulusevski likely to be back at the end of this month. I mean, he's a player that you could really use, and Thomas Frank can maybe benefit from having back and available. But listen, you sack managers who win you trophies, so good luck for what's next, okay, Sonny?
Yeah, I've got it. You said karma's come to me, Shebahn, hasn't it? It is.
I did laugh, Sonny, yesterday. I was thinking of the name of the derby, what West Ham could be in Tottenham, and I thought it's the disgruntled fan-base derby.
Yeah.
More protests in London than ever, is it?
I know.
Palace, Chelsea.
Sonny, we love you. Thank you so much.
Cheers, Sonny.
Keep us posted when you hear anything. Sonny Snelling there from Inside Spurs, part of the...
It's mad football at the moment, Shebahn, isn't it? How much is happening? How many disgruntled fans there are at clubs? I mean, you look at Leeds, who have got a great result yesterday, and you look at how Sunderland have done and Villa have done. But there's a lot of negative stuff coming out from even the top clubs at the top.
Yeah, you can send us your messages, 81089 03717 223344. After his press conference yesterday, does Thomas Frank hang on? He believes he's got the backing of the board. As for Palace, is it Oliver Glasner time up after his outburst towards the board, saying his heart has been ripped out? You're listening to Weekend Breakfast on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we'll get into the Sunday morning newspapers. Good morning, it's the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT with Shebahn Aherne and former Marseille striker Tony Cascarino, who doesn't watch anything but sport. He's not watching the Traitors, and it's been absolutely cracking this series so far. It's trending. It's got like the highest viewership ever.
Oh, really?
It's absolutely taken over.
What, do you know the number, or is it
20? Did I read 20 million?
Yeah, well, that would be. I mean,
pretty high.
Because Coronation Street and all them, or EastEnders, they had over.
Oh, they're climbing, trying to catch up with the Traitors now.
Oh, is it?
Unbelievable stuff. By the way, Paul Gorton, who was in Series 2, one of the Traitors from Series 2, Liverpool fan, is going to be with us a little bit later on in the show. Traitors fans, listen up for that. Here's what's coming up for you on talkSPORT today. 9 o'clock after us, the Sunday edition with Henry Winter alongside Sean Custis. 11 o'clock, it's the warm-up. Max Rushton and Barry Glendenning will be with you. And then it's Game Day Live as ever. Sam Matterface is going to round the grounds from all of the games, all the goals as they happen. We've got updates from Villa against Everton and Wolves against Newcastle, and then it's the final word with Madge and Pards taking all your calls from 6:30 and the Trans Euro Express at 9. Plus we've got all the updates from the Australian Open tennis for the first time this morning. A very good morning to Tom Clayton. Tom, what's happening?
Yeah, good morning. Well, the biggest story from overnight is Arthur Ferry, the young British player ranked 185 in the world, has knocked out the 20th seed, the Italian Flavio Cobolli, in straight sets. He'll go on to face Argentina's Thomas Martin Echeverry in the second round. Third seed Alexander Zverev is safely through after beating Canada's Gabriel Diallo. Top Brit Cam Norrie is in action against France's Benjamin Bonzi shortly. Carlos Alcaraz is in action later on as well. The women's 7th seed Jasmine Paolini is safely through, but the 26th seed Diana Yastremska is out. Arina Sabalenka and Emma Raducanu both playing later as well. And also in the next few hours, we'll see Venus Williams, age 45, become the oldest women's singles players in Australian Open history when she faces the Serbian Olga Danilovic. She first played at the Australian Open in 1998, age 17. Incredible career.
The Australian Open update on talkSPORT with TNT Sports. Stream every set live on Discovery Plus or watch TNT Sports channels on EE, Sky and Virgin Media. Subscription required. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Talking of traitors, Sam's with us.
Very harsh. Very harsh. Don't worry about that, Cass. I'll stab you in the back at any given opportunity. Are you worried about that?
I'd actually say Sam's one of the loyal ones.
Yeah. That's a worry, isn't it? That is a worry. No, it's true. Very loyal to talkSPORT. 10 years this year is talkSPORT for me.
Really?
April. 10 years. How about that? I'll have a little party.
So 2016 was the year you joined. Is this the trend then?
There you go. You see, that's my 2016.
So this really represents something, this 2016.
Highs and the lows.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, but now you've called me that, Cash. You're not invited.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, Villa against Everton today. Jack Grealish being challenged by David Moyes to respond to his stupid red card by producing on the pitch. The Everton boss said he left the 30-year-old in little doubt over what he thought of his sending off for 2 yellow cards in the home draw with Wolves. Villa against Everton. Cass, a bit of Jack Grealish loving. He's done all right so far, hasn't he, for Everton? I mean, I know he's had a bit of a discipline trouble, but...
I think he initially done well and showed his qualities because he is a very gifted footballer, Jack. I don't think Everton will keep him, though.
You don't?
No, I don't. Unless... I just think Jack's lost half a yard, and that makes a bit of a difference. He's still a very... Look, whether he can reinvent himself slightly, and he absolutely, Sam, would have to take a cut in wages. You know, clubs just can't afford, I'm sure, what he's getting paid at City. And I'm not really convinced Everton will keep him on, or David Moyes.
He loves it, though. I mean, it's
great for him.
Clear
Look,
that he's happy.
It can change if he has a really good end to the season and shows even more and contributes a bit more with scoring goals himself. I always think Jack does take the option of passing sometimes when he needs to shoot himself. But he's a gifted lad. He needs a really good second part of the season. He's done well, initially done very, very well. And I think it's just not quite as good as that.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? That's one of the two games today. Wolves against Newcastle being the other game. Do you see Villa as in the mix for the title or not? I mean, no one seems to
love yesterday's results.
No.
Oh, yeah. Yesterday, you know, it keeps them well involved. You know, they can actually go second with a victory, you know, being on the same be 4 points off, you know, of Arsenal. So Villa would have loved it.
And in Arsenal yesterday, I mean, they weren't exactly ripping up trees. They just couldn't seem to finish the dinner. And then you wonder if that pressure on Arsenal, knowing that this situation has happened to them before, whether they will be mentality monsters and hold their nerve, or if Villa win today, knowing that Man United won yesterday, City dropped points, and they can't capitalise against Forest, Will it change the state of everything? You never know, but I don't think Villa can win it.
I only say this, Sam, and I said to you this on air, off air, that it's really weird that we've got to a stage now where you can win your home games, which Arsenal have done in great numbers, and get a draw away, and it's deemed a bad result.
Yeah.
It's not a bad result yesterday. They'd missed a number of chances. They didn't play as well as we know they're capable of, but City lost as well. So if Villa don't get a victory, Arsenal are in a better position. They've got one game less to play. You know, we're in the home run. There's 16 games left for Arsenal.
That's loads though, Kaz.
Yeah, it's still loads, but they're going to have to lose more games in them 16 games than they've done all season.
Mm-hmm.
They've only lost 2 games all season.
But the fact is they're at the top of the table. Yeah. We've seen them in that situation before.
That's it.
City go on the hunt.
Do we have faith that they can sustain it with Arsenal?
I'm not meeting confident Arsenal fans. They've got that nerve about them.
I think we'll talk about the top race more at 7:30. But I think the advantage Arsenal have is that nobody else is consistent enough. Are they?
Exactly. Yeah.
That gives them advantage. I think it was putting real pressure on them. Maybe.
The Man City one was a surprise yesterday.
Yeah.
A total surprise. And
shocker.
Yeah, they really didn't play well. Donnarumma was by far their best player.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course that's all over the back pages as well this morning. Car revved up, very good. Back page of the Sport this morning. Fast car, back page of the Mirror. All got the same sort of headlines. Car being, C-A-R-R for Carrick. Yeah. Supercar is the one on the back page of the People. Lots of car.
Come on, Michael.
Michael Carrick is at the wheel at Man United. Loads of that, and of course all the Spurs and Palace manager shout as well. Very interesting to see what happens with that today.
Sam Stevens, thank you very much. You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast. Coming up next, we're going to talk basketball. It's back in the UK. We'll get a sense of what we can look forward to with a man who's 7 foot. Love it. You're listening to Weekend Breakfast on talkSPORT.
Fancied having a beer in the stands while watching your team at the Emirates? Well, this season you actually can, and not just there. You can do it at Anfield, Goodison Park, Stamford Bridge and Old Trafford too. But hold on, I hear you cry. Isn't drinking alcohol in the stands at Premier League games illegal? You're right, for the men's game it still is, but the Women's Super League is doing something different, and here's how we got there. Back in the 1980s, football had a serious image problem. The sport was plagued by violence, pitch invasions and beer-fuelled chaos. From fan riots at the 1980 Scottish Cup final to the Heysel disaster years later, things were unsafe and the consequences were disastrous. Then in 1985, Margaret Thatcher's government stepped in. They introduced the Sporting Events Control of Alcohol Act, banning alcohol in view of the pitch across England and Wales. Since then, many fans and clubs have called for the law to be relaxed, especially since other sports don't face the same restrictions. If you're popping down to watch the Red Roses roar at Twickenham, feel free to grab a pint on the way to your seat. Wandering down to Lord's to catch some boundary bashing? Fill your boots with G&Ts. But if you were hoping to cheers your club's promotion to the Premier League with a Prosecco in hand from pitchside, sorry, it'll have to be tea or Bovril. In 2021, it looked like things might finally change. The government commissioned the Crouch Report, a fan-led review into football governance. One recommendation was to allow League Two and National League clubs to lift the alcohol ban to boost matchday revenue. But nothing came of it. Authorities still weren't convinced that fans could be trusted. And then in January 2025, something did change. The Women's Championship, now called the WSL 2, launched a trial allowing fans to drink in the stands. The reasoning? Well, fans at women's matches tend to behave differently. Less aggression, more family-friendly vibes. Now, the women's game is raising the bar, literally. Select WSL and WSL2 stadiums are allowing fans to drink alcohol in view of the pitch. It's been a landmark move, showing growing trust in fans and recognising that women's football is building its own culture. So could the men's game be the next to leave the 1980s behind? Well, maybe, if fans can prove they can handle a pint without pitching it at someone. Yeah, don't hold your breath. Until then, it's Bovril all around. Cheers to that.
Good morning to you. It's the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT with Shebahn Aherne and Tony Cascarino.
Good morning.
Michael Carrick's Manchester United stormed to victory in the Manchester derby.
Looking for Dorgu, and Dorgu gets on the end of it to finish it. And on the day that Manchester is at its most divided, it's the red half of the town that looks united.
City were weirdly off. What's going on there? Pep Guardiola taking off Erling Haaland. Are their title hopes now looking a little bit bleak? We'll discuss that and all of yesterday's incredible action, including a damaging defeat for Thomas Frank's Spurs at home to West Ham.
We need some of the offensive players also to find the cutting-edge moments. It's no criticism, it's just reality. And that we will keep searching for.
He said his heart's been ripped out twice by the club, and he's very much so not on the same page as the board. We know he's leaving at the end of the season, but will he be gone sooner than that? Possibly at 9 o'clock this morning. You never know, Spurs fans. We want to get your thoughts this morning. 03717 223344. Thomas Frank also under huge pressure. Oliver Glasner in danger of talking himself out of the Palace job early.
We feel that we are being abandoned completely. If your heart gets torn out twice a season, one day before a game, so with Eze in summer and with your captain now, I've just completely no understanding.
It's day one of the Australian Open. All of the updates coming up. We're also going to look ahead to today's Premier League action. Villa take on Everton. Wolves face Newcastle, all part of our game day live coverage here on talkSPORT. It's the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. Good morning. We were saying it's a little bit tetchy with the fan bases at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah. A lot of disillusioned fans out there. You know, Liverpool have sort of got away with one this weekend because a draw against Burnley, loads and loads of shots in the game. The stats would have all read good, but again, dropping points. And, you know, we all know what's with West Ham and Tottenham, and, you know, Chelsea have had change of a manager. We're looking at the top of the table. Man City. Are Man City really even close to the Man City that have been great sides over the years?
Did you see it? You wouldn't have, because you were at Stamford Bridge, but did you get a hold of Pep's pre-match press conference yesterday?
No.
He's in one of those funny moods. You know, some days he's like...
Well, he can be.
He was in one of those moods, and then Haaland comes off, and they just weren't... He wasn't in a cheery mood, that's for sure.
No, he makes some really strange decisions sometimes, Pep. And he's the greatest coach of all time. You know, so we all accept that Pep's going to reinvent the wheel, as in what Man City are as a team.
Yeah.
And when they are good, they can remind you how good they can be. But this team has been inconsistent. For Pep's standards, they've been way inconsistent.
Yeah, I mean, very much so. Still in the title race. City fans, you can weigh in on that this morning, 81089. What happened there yesterday? And send us your happiest, cheeriest songs. We want to cheer up the fan bases who are struggling this Sunday morning. 81089 if you want to send them in. Lily Allen is a Fulham fan. She won't be smiling much this morning. Lucas Lameccia came off the bench to score a 91st minute winner as Leeds ended Fulham's 6-game unbeaten run in the Premier League. Cass, you've got a lot more to smile about because Chelsea got the win over Brentford yesterday. You were there at the game. Weren't all that impressed though by Chelsea.
No, well, you can say, I mean, Liam Rosenior's press conference afterwards was very upbeat, and he acknowledged that Brentford are a really good side.
Yeah.
And they were yesterday. They were dangerous. Kevin Schade pace is frightening. And, you know, when he gets a turn of foot, he can really get into he can really drag a team high up the pitch. I thought Damsgaard's a hell of a player. Thiago didn't have that great of a game, but always was a nuisance. Chelsea's best players I thought Toussaint, the heart of the defence, was terrific for Chelsea yesterday. Probably one of his best games he's had in a blue shirt. But you can come away from the game that, you know, Brentford are a decent side that could easily have got something out of the game yesterday. They had a number of chances.
Liam Rosenior spoke to the press after the game. He said he was happy, obviously, with the 3 points, despite his side not playing well. But like you say, it's not going to be pretty every time. 3 points.
No, they're such a hard team to play against, Brentford. You know, they make it difficult in all sorts, not only set pieces, but in open play. They were actually very aggressive in the way they played. So I came away thinking, no, Brentford are going to beat a lot of good teams the way they play.
Chelsea 6th in the table on 34 points. What do you think is the expectation of Rosenior now he's got the job?
Champions League. They're all going to be vying for the Champions League spots because that's where the money is. And, you know, if you can make that competition every year, Chelsea will be fighting. But they'll be fighting Manchester United. They'll be fighting Liverpool. So, yeah, it's going to be tough. And even Brentford behind them is not that far behind.
Tell me about the atmosphere at Stamford Bridge for Rosenior. Did it feel like the fans were really behind him?
Yeah, they were good. They were good. Yeah, no, they were good. I mean, it was a bit flat because Chelsea didn't really get the backs, their bums off the backs of the seats, you know, that type of attitude at Chelsea yesterday. But they're giving him, like they should do, a fair opportunity to take over the manager's role. And I'd say trust, because there is a lack of trust. There was a small demonstration yesterday at Stamford Bridge of, I think, max couple of hundred. But it's, you know, the model of Chelsea is to me quite strange, as in it's always going to go down the youth role or the younger and the potential, which is they've, accumulated a whole lot of talent, which they have. But they've really got some great... Enzo Fernandez is a fantastic footballer. He really is. Neto's a fantastic player. And but they do always feel like, to me, I look at them and think, you just had a little bit of that not say players who have been at a higher level and have stepped down slightly because they're not quite the player they once was, but players who still can do something at 28, 29 for Chelsea. Yeah. They'd add a lot to the team.
Here's Liam Rossinia after the game.
There's certain things I want to see in this group that I think they're capable of, which is the other side, which is not playing well and winning a game of football. I've been here as a Fulham player and a Reading player. Chelsea here, when I played, used to win in many different ways. And if I can teach and help this group learn how to win when they don't play well, when they do play well, all those values and basics are really, really important. So that's what we're going to keep working on.
Yeah. That's exactly what it was yesterday. They didn't play particularly well. They had moments in the game. He gave incredible credit to Brentford, and rightly so, because I was at the press conference and Keith Andrews was there and I sort of said hello to him and that, and you could tell there was a manager there who was really gutted that he'd lost the game, and felt that he should have got something out of it. But that's what sometimes you do. You win games that you don't deserve to win, and Chelsea did that yesterday.
Funny thing going around on social media just now. I know it's not the place to go for truth and fact, but there was a pundit that said yesterday that Pep Guardiola, don't rule out him leaving this week. Just to go back to City and what happened yesterday, and Pep being in that kind of funny mood that we've seen from him before. Yeah, interesting decisions were made in the game too, but also the fact that, let's not forget, Man United scored 5 goals against them, 3 being disallowed. But to be defeated like that in a manner in a derby by a man who's just come in to take charge of Manchester United, do you think there's any truth to this, Pep? I possibly leaving?
Well, okay, so when Haaland signed a new 9-year deal, do you think there would have been a conversation of how long Pep was going to stay?
Yeah, possibly.
Oh, I would imagine that Haaland would have asked certain questions about how long are you going to be here, and who are the coaches, because top players like to know who's in charge. And because obviously they want the backing of that particular guy, getting players in like Shirky coming in, Semenya would have wanted to go and play for Pep. So what, he's going to go a week later and suddenly, one of the reasons why Semenya's gone is because of Pep Guardiola. Yeah. And Pep Guardiola gets players because it's Pep Guardiola. So I don't buy into that at all.
Okay.
That would be a bizarre U-turn.
Funny thing to just come out with. Don't be surprised if he leaves this week.
No, I would be totally surprised. And what else can you do with a rumour except spread it?
There you go. Well, you could
quash it.
You could create it.
So no, I don't buy in that Pep's gonna. I would be shocked if, Semenya would be like, I've joined the club, and then Pep Guardiola's moved on. I just wouldn't see it. He's had to convince. Managers meet players. They have chats with them, and I've sat in front of managers and had conversations, and I'd hate to think I'm sitting next to a guy that's looking, well, we're going to sign you, but I'm off anyway. Yeah.
Funny though, when he was
just doesn't add up.
There was something about it yesterday, and this is before this.
It was weird because the performance was so poor,
and yet going into the game, he just seemed different. I know, like we said, he can be a bit temperamental, Pep, when he wants to be. I wouldn't like to interview him, but yesterday going into the game, I was like, "What's up? What's wrong with you?" It was very clear something was off. Anyway, like we say, it's a rumour.
He's been there. He's done that a few times.
Yeah.
But maybe you're right. It felt strange before.
Funny timing. Maybe just a coincidence. Right, it's time now for this.
Be there for Super Bowl 60 on talkSPORT.
Oh, this is so good. The Super Bowl just around the corner. Sunday the 8th of February. Guess what? We could be sending you there with a friend or a loved one, getting you the flights to San Francisco, a fancy hotel for 3 nights, and spending money as well. What a way to start the new year. Soaking up the Super Bowl. For your chance to win, text the word WIN to 83338. Text are £2.50 plus your one standard network rate, or call this number 0343 418 7260. That's 0343 418 7260. And the lines close Thursday at 4 o'clock. You'll have to answer your phone because it could be us calling you to tell you you've got the chance to win. 18 plus, UK residents only, a network promotion. All the terms and conditions as ever on our website talksport.com. So text the word WIN now to 83338. That's WIN to 83338, or call 0343 418 7260, and you could be going to the Super Bowl on as you listen to the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we're going to hear from Spurs fans. 03717 22 3344, and we're going to be chatting basketball back in the UK. Morning. Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT with Shebahn Aherne and Tony Cascarino. We're trying to cheer up the grumpy fan bases this morning. Palace being one of them.
West Ham.
Spurs,
Well, they're a bit bright this morning.
West
Spurs
Ham.
definitely not. Man City definitely
City
not.
can be in there a little bit after yesterday.
Even
they
teams that
got
didn't-
battered.
Teams that didn't get battered, you know, like, or if you look at Arsenal and the amount of reaction from Arsenal fans where they really feel like that was a points drop yesterday. No, it's a point that's taken you a point further ahead of Man City and one game less.
I like that you see the positivity. You can send us your positive songs today, 8, 10, 89. Time for an update from the Australian Open. Here's Tom Clayton.
Yeah, plenty of positives from the Australian Open overnight. A big upset from the British qualifier Arthur Ferry, ranked 185 in the world, knocked out the Italian 20th seed Flavio Cabelli. The 23-year-old will go on to face Argentina's Thomas Martin Echeverry in the second round. The third seed Alexander Zverev safely through. He could face the British top hope Cam Norrie in the third round, who's just underway shortly in his opener against France's Benjamin Bonzi in the first round shortly. Norrie is the top Brit because of a long-term injury to Jack Draper, who withdrew. He's recovering from a bone bruise on his arm. Very unpleasant indeed. Top seed Alcaraz is also in action later against Australia's Adam Walton. In the women's side of things, in the last half an hour, the 11th seed Ekaterina Alexandrova has been knocked out by the Turkish qualifier Zeynep Sonmez in 3 sets. Earlier, the 7th seed Jessica Paolini went through against Alexandra Sasnovich. Emma Raducanu gets underway later against Thailand's Mananchaya Sawankyo. That's Raducanu seeded number 28. And the top seed Arina Sabalenka also in action today, taking on France's Titi Rakoto Manga Rajanoa. It's a day for incredible names at the Australian Open.
The Australian Open update on talkSPORT with TNT Sports. Every set exclusively live on TNT Sports. Subscription required. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Thank you, Tom. It's time now for this.
They're playing basketball.
The NBA returns to the UK for the first time since 2019. We'll see the Memphis Grizzlies take on Orlando Magic at the O2 tip-off this afternoon. Well, from 5 p.m. that all gets underway. Join us now here in the studio. I shouldn't just focus on the height. Right, there's more to you than just your height, Ryan Richards. Ex-pro basketball player Ryan is with us now. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, okay.
I'm very good, very good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we've already got something in common
Go
because
on.
of the Kent connection.
That's it.
Yeah. And Sittingbourne. Is that where you live now?
Sittingbourne and Gillingham. Yeah, that's me,
Gillingham.
Oh, okay. Is that your team? Is that your football team?
It is.
Oh,
Yeah.
there
We're
you
not doing
go.
the best, but yeah, it is, yeah.
How come you didn't know? You didn't know he used to play for them? You were like, what's your name again?
No, we've got a mutual connection because
Yes.
said about Damien Richardson, who used to manage and play for Gillingham.
Yes.
So Damien, always been in the game forever.
Yeah.
Good to have an old time catch up. You've had a career that spanned more than 2 decades in basketball. You were one of a handful of players who were drafted
Yes.
to the NBA. Quite the time that you've had Ryan. Yeah. And now you're working on pushing basketball here in the country.
Yes. Yeah. So, coming back probably 3 years ago after retiring, I really did a focus on seeing how and where the game was. And I felt like I could bring some things from my international experience and add some bits with Richards Elite. And we have just skyrocketed. We've had kids move on and achieve their dreams, receive scholarships and join the pathway. And it's exciting. Yeah.
I was going to ask you that because I was in France and I played there in football, but basketball was massive in France.
Yes.
And I was shocked how popular it was. And there's other European countries, like, obviously, I think Greece is another country, isn't it? Where we've got basketball league, and others. And yet the UK has always felt a little bit behind on the basketball love. And that's something you really believe you can rekindle or just basically promote because it's such a great game.
100%. I mean, I think that we're in that mindset of everything else is better, other countries are better, we're struggling, everything's against us, negative. I kind of think in a positive way. You know, I feel like we have a lot of blessings in this country. We have so much talent. With Luau drafted in 2003, Joel Freeland in 2006, and then myself in 2010, and now we have Jeremy Sochan, who's a young star, and then we have Amari, who's new. I feel like now's the time. So with the change with myself and the staff and the team, we're making those strides, and we're copying some of those leagues. Some of those patterns is what we're bringing in with Richards Elite, so it's exciting.
Tell us about being drafted, because it feels like an entertainment, doesn't it?
It doesn't feel, feels like the movies, doesn't it?
Yeah, it feels like you're on the Oscars or that sort of thing. Tell us about being drafted. Did you actually know that where you're heading, or is it a bit of a surprise?
So once I was a kid, I always told myself I'm going to get drafted in 2010, number one pick. Unfortunately, I wasn't number one, I was number 49, but I told myself that. And me and all my friends went to a bar in Chicago. So we sit down and we said, look, let's do a shot every pick. So we're like, great, let's do it. So we started drinking, and then my friends were like, are you sure you're going to go top 20? I said, I don't know. So we took a bit of a break. I go to the toilet for a break, and they call my name on the TV that I'm picked number 49. We're jumping and screaming. The bar owner comes out and starts shouting at us and tell us to get out, and we're saying, what have we done wrong? You know, he goes, well, you're 19, you can't drink. You got to be 21. So we got kicked out the bar. We didn't pay the bill. So everything was good. But it was amazing. It was a movie. I never knew I was going to go to San Antonio. I thought I was going to go to the Orlando Magic with the 30th pick. So it's funny that they're in London playing today.
Wow. That's a story.
I mean, in terms of the love that the league's getting, having it over here, I mean, we're talking about the NFL when it comes to London, the amount of appreciation and love it gets.
Yeah.
You want it to be the same then for basketball?
I do. I mean, basketball is the second most played sport in the UK, and a lot of people don't know that.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it is moving forward. So I think it's going to be, with myself and more people coming back and growing the game and trying to do right, I think it's going to be bigger than the NFL.
So tell us, because we have, as you know, the transfer system where they buy players in football, and a lot of it is huge failure as well, because the ones you think, it's been brilliant, they'll get that player, he'll be perfect for us, and then it doesn't pan out that way. And as a draft, a similar thing where you could be 49 draft and he's worked brilliantly, and yet number one draft hasn't worked.
It works. It happens all the time. Nikola Jokic, who I think is the best player in the NBA, two-time MVP. He was the 42nd pick. When they called his name, there was a commercial for Taco Bell. And now he's number one player in the NBA. So 100%. Sometimes it works out. You have number ones like Wemby, the French kid that's just unreal. But sometimes there's a lot of busts, they like to say. So you never know. It's gambling.
Yeah, it's a roll of the dice.
It's a roll of the dice.
Yeah.
And you're putting a lot of love for Richards Elite into the women's sport as well, because I was reading recently that women's footballers were obviously earning so much money and were so commercial for a long time. Now it's the basketball players.
That's what it's about.
Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, what side are you on?
I'm in the middle.
Are you?
I'm in the middle. I like them both. I'm a girl dad now. My little girl Grace is 3 and she's about 4'5".
Really?
She's nearly there.
Where does she get that from?
She's tall.
Must be her mum's side.
Her mum is tall. So I'm all about the girls' game. I'm really passionate about that. The boys' game's a lot easier, but the girls' game needs some love, and we have a lot of talent in the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How tall were you when you were 11?
I think I was 6'2".
That's.
Well, you made me feel small. When the moment you come in the door and I'm thinking I'm 6'3", and I'm thinking I never really feel small to anyone I meet, but I do with basketball. But I did feel that. Strange enough, when we went to America in World Cup '94, we went to the England Patriots Stadium where they're training camp, and there were some huge guys there as well. And not just tall, but both ways, width. American sport is pretty much dominated though by size, isn't it?
I think
if you
so.
think most of the sports are, apart from soccer, which doesn't It helps to be big to a certain degree,
Yeah.
but not levels of American sport.
They say you can't teach size. That's the key. They say you can't teach size. So, if you've got that, that's kind of a good base. But there's a lot of players that aren't as tall, that are doing special things in the game. But I do think if you're 7'6", 7'3", it's going to help.
Yeah. Well,
who's the tallest ever to play in basketball player? Did you know
Great
that?
question. I would say maybe 7'6", 7. You know what I mean? 7'6". You know what I mean?
7'6".
Wow. Well, listen, thank you so much.
He wouldn't get through that door.
No. Come on, crawl in for us. Up you come at the desk. Ryan Richards Elite, keep pushing it. We'll
sure.
keep pushing it as well.
Yeah.
Good luck today. Hope it goes well. And I believe you got some gifts for us.
I do. I've got you some jerseys.
Oh, right. Oh, lovely.
It's like a dress for me.
This one is yours. I've got this one.
Okay.
And I've got this one here for you.
Oh, thank you very much.
6'3", man.
Oh, lovely stuff. And we've got who's brown? Who's brown? I've got brown on the back.
I'm number
I'll have you.
44.
That's for you. 44. That's my favourite number.
Is it?
Brown's my middle name.
Oh, okay.
you
All
go.
right, I'll take it. Lovely stuff. Ryan Richards.
Four's my
Richards
favourite
Elite.
number.
Is it?
4. So anything related to 4,
Four?
Is my number.
Because he's had 4 wives. No, wait. Right, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate your time. You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT.
Kills me
Coming up
every
next,
time.
we're going to build up to today's Premier League action. Morning. That was nice to speak
That was
to
hectic.
Ryan,
Yeah, it was great fun.
Because we're in a little studio and he's so big.
Yeah.
We were all trying to move around to take a picture. It was awkward for everyone involved, wasn't it?
No, the basketball players are just huge, aren't they? The heights in basketball, he's probably not that big. And
average size.
7 foot is wow.
Speaking of heights, Lisandro Martinez, how good was he yesterday? Because his height does come into it, and he's obviously really a normal sized guy.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I thought Harry Maguire handled Haaland really well.
And speaking of heights, I didn't realise Maguire's as big.
Yes,
really,
he's 6'5". I think
he's a lot.
I think they're pretty much similar heights, but Maguire. You would think that Maguire, if he gets in a position of being on a one-on-one and he's chasing back to goal, that Haaland's going to go flying past him. Never got caught in that scenario yesterday. Yeah. And look, Haaland didn't get a particularly great service. It didn't help him. But between Martinez and Maguire, I thought they handled... And they're natural defenders. We talk about this back three that Amarin had and changing certain personnel in that back three, but they are way more natural defenders.
Yeah, very good performance from Manchester United all over yesterday. Some of the other headlines, talkSPORT understands Juventus have held talks with Crystal Palace striker Jean-Philippe Mateta ahead of a possible January move. Surprised at Juventus?
No, well, I think he's only got a year to go, hasn't he, after this year? I'm pretty sure it's the end of this season, then he's got one more. So, obviously, Palace don't want to be caught again. But it feels like lifeboats. People are jumping out, into the lifeboats at Palace at the moment.
Yeah.
Not good. Not good.
And talkSPORT's viral sensation, Will Gavin, is out in the US of A. He's got the latest from the NFL playoffs after our live commentary on talkSPORT 2 last night. Will...
So yet again, the NFL playoffs delivered drama in spades. Saturday night, we saw the number 1 seed Denver Broncos eke through in overtime against the Buffalo Bills, 33-30, but not before their star quarterback, Bo Nix, goes down with a broken ankle. And then in the late game, the Seattle Seahawks really put notice to the rest of the NFL as to why they are Super Bowl favourites with a dominant victory, 41-6 over the San Francisco 49ers. Sunday night, we've got the Texans, Patriots to see who'll go on to face the Broncos in the AFC Championship next weekend, and then live on talkSPORT 2 from 11 p.m. I think the game of the weekend. The Chicago Bears face off with the Los Angeles Rams. Caleb Williams, the brilliant second-year quarterback, going up against the MVP in Matt Stafford. Points galore. It's going to be an absolute barnstormer. And then we're on to 2 championship games next weekend live on the network, and then Super Bowl 60 live from Santa Clara, California. It's going to be a sensational last few weeks of the NFL season, and the best place to get all of your coverage is at talkSPORT.
Well, Gavin, as ever, thank you very much. He's a 49ers fan. They got absolutely battered last night, 41-6. That's Will's team, so he'll just be about drying his eyes. And moving on to the next talkSPORT 2, bringing you live coverage right up until the Super Bowl, set obviously for next month. Manchester United dominated Man City 2-1 yesterday, live here on talkSPORT for our 250th commentary of the season. After the game, Pep Guardiola admitted poor form in front of goal could damage the title hopes.
It's more difficult. The 3 games we had in Sunderland, Brighton and Chelsea, that was the key. So we played really good today. We don't deserve not even one. And the other one we deserve more, but unfortunately we could not score the goals up front, and that's why we miss it.
And then he brought off Haaland, which was a bit surprising for one of the younger players. He wasn't happy. You could tell that as well.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't looked at the fixture list, but it's Champions League week, isn't it? And he might be considering... Okay, it's not really happening today for Haaland, and we'll make sure in midweek that he's ready to play again. And sometimes you have to understand where managers are coming from, and that is the issue. City are not playing well. I've not bought into City as much as most people, not because of yesterday's result, because I just don't feel like the great City sides that will just blow everybody away. And everyone will talk about, they're capable of doing 12 straight wins. Well, there's no evidence of that this year, that they can do 12 straight wins, because they've lost 5 now in the Premier League. So if we go, they've played 22 games, they've lost 5, that's, they're not going to do a 12-game winning streak.
I mean this with absolute respect, and how dare we question him, but do you think he's lost an element of his invincibility?
Well, loads of teams, especially the mediocre, the sides that are pushing their weight. They're not the biggest clubs, but like Sunderland, who can make it difficult. And we're seeing a number of these clubs this season. Leeds are certainly doing it. They can hurt you. Fulham, Brighton, all these Palace have done it. They've taken points off of big clubs. I'm not just talking Man City. I'm talking in general, that they've got these big results in them. And I think that has made an ultimate difference to why this season is 50 points after 22 games a really big return? Arsenal draw on 5, lost 2. They don't look like losing many games. Yeah. But as for City, Villa will leapfrog. If Villa get a result today, which they're very capable of, they'll be 3 points clear of City. With 4 points behind Arsenal.
That's mad. There's 16 games to go after today's games, right?
Yeah.
After this weekend.
Yeah.
So are you still confident then it's going to be Arsenal?
I still think, I still do. I've stuck by Arsenal the whole time because I just think defensively, and everyone will look and go and talk about their failures in years gone by. Arsenal have never had a back four like they've got now this season. It is so strong. And yes, you could say, well, they conceded 2 in midweek against Chelsea, and that was more to do with, Chelsea did take some golden opportunities that they got. But I think generally, week in, week out, Arsenal, like they did yesterday, will keep a clean sheet very often. And that will save them. That will get them over the line.
But with no disrespect to Forest, they're dropping.
There are concerns at Arsenal. We talked last week. Gyökeres is an issue, Shebahn.
Yeah.
He's got to be better. He's got to be better than he's doing.
And this is the thing. He was brought in to almost win them the title, to guarantee.
Well, it was for competition. I was never totally convinced that Arteta's gone, he's my man, he's going to help me make the difference because he's got Havertz and Gabriel Jesus. He wanted competition in that position, which is, if they're all fit, he's got.
See, I think he thought he was getting another Haaland.
Maybe.
With his numbers, with the return that
Yeah, well, his numbers are Sporting Lisbon, but Haaland's numbers with Dortmund and before, are pretty extraordinary. You look at every club he's ever played for, he's literally his goal ratio is goal a game.
Yeah.
So I don't think he really thought. Maybe he thought he could improve, but he never had the pace of Haaland.
Yeah.
So you couldn't say, well, he could be another Haaland because he's nowhere near as quick as Haaland.
Yeah. It's funny. I mentioned this earlier on. I feel like I speak to Arsenal fans and they're not fully settled. They're not confident, even though it is
they're
a
nervous.
7-point cushion. They're nervous, and you can understand.
Yeah, of course.
Why?
History.
But then does that reflect on the team? Is that they're nervous because the team aren't getting the job done? Even against Chelsea, they could have gone 4-1 up, but they don't. Do you have to think about that?
Yeah, but I think the history of where they failed in previous seasons under Arteta,
that's where
they're still thinking in that mindset. I would say be more optimistic because Arsenal are in a great position. Look at where they are in the Champions League group. Look where they are in the Premier League. Look who's conceded the least goals. It all points to Arsenal.
Yeah.
It just does.
That does not.
And in the I think they conceded 1 in the Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure, but I think it's 1. So not only in the Champions League, but in the Premier League, they're the lowest goals conceded. So Liverpool are not going to make a challenge to them.
Yeah.
Liverpool were the obvious. What they'd done in the transfer window in the summer, that they were absolutely the team to beat. Well, that's pretty much gone now.
What about this quadruple chat? It was Adrian Durham saying in the talkSPORT Daily podcast, it could be unbeatable.
Well, my son Edward or Teddy, he phoned me because he's an Arsenal fan. He said, "Phone me at the start of the season, Dad, get me a price for the quadruple." And I went, "Don't be silly." I said, "Look, Arsenal got to win a title first." And he kept saying, "Well, what price?" And I couldn't really get one. I actually asked Simon Clare. I phoned him and said, "What?" And he said, "We didn't really have one at that particular time." And lo and behold, they're still in every competition. I don't see it. I think you'll have to give on something because I think winning the Champions League, I think Arsenal can win either the Champions League or the Premier League. And more importantly, I think the Premier League, that and maybe a League Cup. I think that would be the top. So I don't see this as a team that will go and do a quadruple, no.
Villa host Everton today, could go 4 points above them. It's one of our game day coverage games here on talkSPORT today. Villa, you're not seeing them in the title race?
No, well, I've always stuck up for Villa. I think they're a great side. I think they've got an incredible manager. And can they make a massive impact in January to give them another, like they did last January? You look 2025, Villa are up there. They rub shoulders with all the points return and how many games they've won. They have absolutely matched everybody.
Do you see him winning a trophy this season?
I wouldn't be surprised. I think Unai Emery's is very much a manager that will always win things.
Yeah.
By hook or by crook, he'll find a way. And he's got a great Villa team. Whether they'll have enough, like I said, I still think Arsenal are the team that will win it, the Premier League. But Villa will run people close. We had a chat a good couple of months ago, Shebahn. I couldn't understand why no one's thought Villa could make the Champions League. I was like, just look at their 2025 record. It tells you they can make Champions League football, qualify automatically for it.
Yeah, I mean, if they win today, they go within 4 points of Arsenal, above Manchester City. It's changing all the time.
Shebahn, if they win,
it's fascinating.
If they win today, Villa, they go to 46 points. The team in fifth are on 35. They've got an 11-point advantage over Manchester United, right? If they win today, that is huge with 16 games to go. And that team is not going to lose loads and loads of games. I think they're well capable of still keeping good numbers up.
Yeah, don't forget, all part of our game day live coverage here on talkSPORT. Sam Matterface, Everton go to Villa today at 4:30 in the Jack Grealish derby. We've also got updates from Wolves versus Newcastle that kicks off at 2:00. Coming up next on the weekend breakfast, we'll discuss Oliver Glasner's future with former Palace midfielder John Salako. It's all kicking off.
Do what you want, running wild.
Smile football fans, it ain't that bad. Good morning. You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT.
By the way, they got Wigan in the FA Cup at home.
Who?
Arsenal.
Arsenal, right.
The team that you think are falling apart.
Hold on. See, this is what you do. I just wonder
League Cup,
if United beat Arsenal next week, bums will go.
League Cup, they're obviously got their noses in front against Chelsea. They've got the home leg to play. They're top of the Champions League and they're top of the Premier League. How dare any Arsenal fan have any negativity? They can't. It doesn't get better than that, does it?
No, I don't think Arsenal fans have negativity. I don't think they feel comfortable with the position.
So you're more, they're just really nervous.
Yeah, you would be if you're in that situation. It's happened to them before. They look stronger than ever.
Luckily, I think the players don't look nervous to me. They don't look nervous. I think they had enough chances to get a result yesterday, and Sales played really well in goal.
Sales was great. Sales was absolutely great.
Yeah.
But just, I'm saying, we'll see what happens next week.
Oh, you're going to go to the Emirates and win now.
I'm not saying that, but it's very
fair
possible.
point. You are suited to play.
Exactly.
I mean,
and if Man United do one on Arsenal next week at the Emirates, the season is an absolute meltdown. It'll be the story of the season, and then butts will collapse. All right. And we'll see what happens today with Aston Villa. And City could go on a run if Arsenal panic. And I just think it's magical.
No, I don't see the City run. I think it's more likely City are going to continue their form of indifference, and Arsenal will keep to type, as in they've only lost 2 games all season in the Premier League.
I know, it's funny because you're right. It's like, why see the negative when it's all positive? But that's what we do because we're human beings, and I'm bitter, angry Scotswomen. Okay, let's get into what's happened yesterday. With Crystal Palace. I mean, they lost the game to Sunderland, obviously, on Friday. The manager, Oliver Glasner, had done his press conference and surprised everyone. He even reportedly blindsided the board by talking about the fact that he's going to be leaving at the end of the season. And he'd had that chat with the chairman, Steve Parish, in October, and they kept it between them. So, Sunderland back to winning ways. Oliver Glasner, at the end of the defeat yesterday, and absolutely blasted the board for abandoning him and his players.
Difficult result, difficult for me to accept, not because of the performance. I think 50-60 minutes performance was well. Yeah, then we had 15-20 minutes where we were under pressure, we conceded a goal. Players tried everything until the end, they're leaving their heart on the pitch, but we feel that we are being abandoned completely, and selling our captain one day before a Premier League game. No understanding. We're playing with 12-13 players from our original squad for weeks now, and then that makes it so tough to accept this defeat, because the players they gave everything, and we had no substitution. I was looking on the bench, just kids there, and that's how it is. That's, I think, why we are where we are. And if your heart gets torn out twice a season, one day before a game, so with Eze in summer and with your captain now, I've just completely no understanding.
I could feel his frustrations. I mean, he was ready for training with Mark Guéhi in there, and apparently wasn't told that Mark Guéhi would not be there. I mean, you can only do and work with what he's got. It sounds like there's a miscommunication issue, and to be honest, it sounds like a basket case. We're in disagreement to this. Let's get the thoughts of former Palace player John Salako. John, good morning. I mean, what a situation we find ourselves in, Palace and Glasner.
Hi, John.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, man, we are absolutely devastated as Palace fans. It's been an incredible journey, but we hoped, they were on the same page, and we hoped that Oliver Glasner, there was conversation there, and he was going to sign a new contract. We were going to shop in this window and really get back on track, but not only are they not on the same page, they're not in the same book. It's absolutely just devastating to watch, just imploded after winning the FA Cup, winning the Community Shield against Liverpool, the champions, and then going into the season, obviously lost Eze. I think it started with, obviously, when they deadline day, when they tried to sell Guéhi, and I think Oliver Glasner put his foot down and said, look, we haven't got replacements, we haven't got a strong enough team, we should be building, we should be keeping our best players. I don't want Mark to go, and he ended up not going to Liverpool, and obviously that was the start of this, and the situation hasn't improved. And to have this miscommunication, we knew Mark might go in this window, but they should have talked about it. We thought if Liverpool or or obviously City come in with 20, 25 million, then it's going to be hard to turn that down. He goes free in the summer. So to just have this lack of communication, he said and to have said in obviously in October, and then now have to have rug pulled from under his feet so late again in the transfer window without being alerted is absolutely cruel.
John, do you feel that Glasner, how far he's gone? I've been shocked that he's really gone for the club. And,
he's got to be
and Steve Parish, because he's responsible for a lot of what's gone on at the football club as well. I was like, he's totally thrown the kitchen sink at the club.
Yeah, I think that's the most surprising thing is really, I heard him, he said a few things. So he was really unhappy about the transfer window. We saw it coming. We qualified for Europe, all right, whether it was Europa League or Europa Conference, we knew we were going to be in Europe, keep our best players. Let's bounce on. I think we signed Uche, Pino, Cambo and Sosa in the summer, but they're good players, but they weren't marquee players. They weren't players that were going to come in and light things up. I mean, Pino's come in and started well, but sort of tailed off, but he's going to be a good player. But again, he's only got, he's played 35 games this year. I think he's got sort of 2 league goals and 4 league goals altogether in 35 games. But look, Ole Glasner is massively disappointed. Whether or not, I think I don't know what the catalyst is for this. That horrid loss at Macclesfield in the FA Cup. I mean, probably the greatest upset. I just love the FA Cup. It does throw up some fairy tales, doesn't it? Some romance. But look, he's gone into this game and they've told him on the Friday, I get what he's saying. I don't want you to sell my captain. I want you to add. And not only they're not adding, they're selling his captain. So he's definitely just come out and all guns blazing. I'm not happy. I'm leaving and I'll do what I can. But look, the relationship is dead, isn't it?
Yeah. John, what do you expect to happen over the next 24 hours? Are you expecting an announcement by Crystal Palace?
Yeah, see, this is what we didn't want as fans. Really, we thought there was dialogue, but this is Glasner saying, "Look, it's up to you if you want to sack me. If you want me to stay to the end of the season." And
has he tarnished his legacy, John, in your eyes after this?
Oh, do you know what? As fans and looking at from the sidelines, Oliver Glasner's been magnificent, and we absolutely love him. He's such an intelligent, such a clever tactician, such a lovely bloke. And he fitted in. The guys, the players absolutely love him. The fans love him. And we were hoping that he was going to stay another season because he had a plan. We always felt he was on a trajectory. His stock is just so high. Obviously Chelsea have changed their manager. United have changed their manager. The Spurs manager's under pressure. The West Ham manager's under pressure. There's some big jobs out there. And maybe even in Europe. So, I do believe him when he says he's not got anything, organised or sorted. But I think he's left himself in it, and I think in the back of his mind, he feels he said abandoned, which is a massive word. So he's obviously said, look, I'm not going. My stock's high. I don't want to tarnish, my stock at the moment. But in the Palace eyes, it's devastating. Where do you go from here? I'm just, I haven't really spoken to too many Palace fans of how they feel about this, but it's going to be difficult, isn't it? We've got Chelsea on Sunday, massive game. Then we go to, I think we go away to Forest, and then the big one at Brighton.
Yeah.
I think we have Burnley, and then we're back in Minsky in the conference, the playoffs, and it's ramping up. So instead of looking forward to the end of the season and thinking let's finish in the top half, let's try and go and win this Europa League. Should be excited about signing a few more players. Brennan Johnson's coming. I mean, what's Wharton thinking? What's Mateta apparently?
He could be next. Yeah, John, listen, incredible times. Thank you so much for coming on with us this morning. We appreciate your time, John Salako there, Crystal Palace legend. We'll wait and see what happens. You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Palace fans, do you feel like at the end of the day he became a traitor? Oliver Glasner feels like the right time to speak to one of the traitors. Liverpool fan and Series 2 traitor Paul Gorton is with us next on Breakfast.
over the years, we've been treated to some amazing exhibition events in sports. Some become iconic, but many fail to live up to the hype. So what are some of the most anticlimactic exhibitions? Technically, it wasn't an exhibition because it ended up being sanctioned as a pro fight, but it basically was. 2024 saw Mike Tyson return to the ring to fight YouTuber Jake Paul. The event, which Paul won, was streamed by 65 million people on Netflix, making it the most streamed sporting event ever at the time. But many complained of buffering and freezing. And as for the fight itself, well, it was considered an entertaining disaster. I mean, it wasn't prime Tyson, he was 58, and after the fight, Paul, who was 27 at the time, said he'd actually gone easy on Tyson towards the end. Now, Mayweather-McGregor in 2017 was a better watch, despite Mayweather going rope-a-dope early on, but it was way too expensive. Pay-per-view was 75 quid, and in the stadium, the cheapest ticket was over 370. Now, this next one you could have watched for free, only because the pay-per-view had streaming issues, so they had to open it out. I'm talking about Tiger versus Phil in 2018, which was nicknamed The Match. Massive names and massive rivals going head-to-head. On paper, it worked. In reality, it didn't. The two players were mic'd up, so we all thought we'll get fascinating insight. We'll be able to hear them insult each other for 18 holes. But what we actually got was more heavy breathing and sniffles. And for two GOATs, the golf itself was bang average. And speaking of GOATs, let's end with Messi and Ronaldo. In 2023, an exhibition between PSG and the Riyadh All-Star 11 saw them share a pitch for possibly the final time. To be fair, it was a goal fest, which PSG won 5-4, and Messi and Ronaldo both scored. But it was obvious they were past their prime. El Clasico, this was not. And with it being in Saudi, there were more sports washing claims. So there you have it. Exhibitions that have let us down. And I didn't even have time to mention the Community Shield.
Hello there, good morning. Welcome along to Sunday, the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. We're live on the YouTube channel. We're live on your smart TV. It's Shebahn Aherne and former Chelsea striker Tony Cascarino.
Good morning.
Oh, what a day it was yesterday. Michael Carrick at the wheel, baby. Manchester United storming to victory in the Manchester derby.
Looking for Dorgu, and Dorgu gets on the end of it to finish it. And on the day that Manchester is at its most divided, it's the red half of the town that looks united.
What happens for City now? I mean, they were miles off it yesterday. Do their title hopes look bleak, or do they go on a run from here? We'll discuss all of yesterday's action, including a damaging defeat for Thomas Frank's Spurs at home to West Ham.
I'm sick to death of losing my head. I hate watching Tottenham. The Spurs fans hate watching Tottenham.
Come and support Chelsea.
I think Thomas Frank hates watching Tottenham.
Come and support Chelsea.
Oh, Jamie, we're not sick of you losing your head. It's always comedy. Spurs fans, though, what's your thoughts? 03717 22 3344. Also, West Ham fans, after that win, are you confident that you're going to stay up? Get involved with the show. And Aston Villa can go up to second in the league today if they beat Everton. Unai Emery's side focused on the task at hand.
Our mentality is to focus each match with the point we have, with the competition we are facing, and get point we we will need for our consistency in the top position in Premier League.
Can't believe it. We're in January and they could go second today.
Yeah.
Simply
great for the Villa if they can achieve that.
Yep, it's a 4:30 kick-off. Villa against Everton. Also today at 2 o'clock, Wolves take on Newcastle. All part of our updates here on Game Day Live with Sam Matterface on talkSPORT. The big story this morning is Oliver Glasner gone at Palace. 03717 223344. What next there? He's absolutely gone for the board, saying his heart has been ripped out twice. Our man in the know, Alex Crook, with us a little bit later on to give us all the updates there. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. Morning. It's also the Australian Open, all underway. Watching for talkSPORT. Here is Tom Clayton.
Yeah, Cam Norrie won the opening set of his first round tie against France's Benjamin Bonzi. In truth, the first set wasn't a contest as Norrie won 6-love, but his serve has been under pressure by the Frenchman to start the second set as Norrie saved 3 break points early on. Is currently 2-2 on serve. Another British hope is 23-year-old qualifier Arthur Ferry, who, as the world number 185, knocked out the 20th seed Flavio Cobolli overnight. He'll go on to face Thomas Martin Echeverry in the second round. Also coming up today, we'll see the men's top seed Carlos Alcaraz, the women's top seed Arina Sabalenka and Emma Raducanu.
The Australian Open update on talkSPORT with TNT Sports. Stream every set live on Discovery Plus or watch TNT Sports channels on EE, Sky and Virgin Media. Subscription required. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
So more Premier League action for you today. 2 o'clock, Wolves take on Newcastle. How do you see this one going, Cass?
Well, Wolves showed, like they have in recent games, that they've got a lot more about them. It'd be a bit more trickier. I think Newcastle probably have too much, especially in forward areas. So, yeah, I'd be surprised if Newcastle get beat, even though they haven't had a great away record this year so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Villa
This
Everton,
season.
can you think Everton?
I think Villa have got the better team. Look, Everton really do miss a goal scorer. And I know they've got Beto and they've got Barry. Their numbers are not particularly great. I just think Villa have got way more of goal threats all over the pitch, more than Everton at the moment.
Yeah.
Jack Grealish going back to the club that he's obviously loved at. A fan.
Off the back of his red card. Looking to impress, possibly. Yeah. It'll be a good game all across it here on talkSPORT. With Game Day Live, Sam Matterface will be here. And we've got reporters all around the grounds to keep you posted on what's happening in the Premier League and beyond today. And time now for a very special guest. For those of you who are locked into TV's biggest sensation will appreciate this. Cass doesn't watch anything but sport. This is a sad case.
I do.
Have a day off. But if you are...
My missus loves Traitors, and my son loves watching it with her. They really love it.
Right.
So,
I mean, it's taken over. I was saying to you earlier on, I think the viewing figures are up at 20 million. I might have exaggerated. All right? It's something like...
I've told you once, I've told you a million times. Don't exaggerate.
Don't let the truth spoil a good story all the same. It's been unbelievable so far. Joining us now from Series 2, Traitors star and huge Liverpool fan, Paul Gorton. Good morning, sir. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, no problem. Good morning to you both.
Yeah,
Where do you want to start? Liverpool or Traitors? What do we do? What do we do?
Oh, well, let's do Traitors. I don't really like talking about Liverpool this season.
I'd agree with that as well, Paul.
For that reason, we're going to start on Liverpool, Paul. I mean, more points dropped yesterday. Cass is a Liverpool fan as well. It was disappointing, wasn't it, yesterday?
Yeah, and do you know what? You can just see the writings on the wall. I think for Slot, he's kind of run out of ideas. He's not playing that high line anymore. You know, he's not got Salah up there pushing the left back. And it's just, you know, we're imploding. It's very similar to what's happening in the Traitors at the moment. A load of people are losing their heads. So I think I don't know what you think, Cass, but I think it's time for Slot to move on.
Well, it's been such a difficult season for many different reasons. But Liverpool have lost their mojo. That's clear for me, Paul. They really have lost their mojo. Created a lot of chances. Yes, they didn't finish them as like you'd expect. Dominic Szoboszlai has had a strange week where he give that goal away, you know, against Barnsley, where he's trying to trick them, misses a penalty. He's been great for Liverpool this season. I just feel like Liverpool are literally going to be where they are all season. It's whether they even make the Champions League, because there's one spot available for that Champions League fourth spot. Because I think City will get there and Villa and Arsenal will, obviously. Liverpool will be vying with them clubs, Man United, you know. They're right on their tails now.
Yeah, the rivalry is back, isn't it? It's really sad to see. I loved it when United were, you know...
Well, Chelsea, Man United, you know, Liverpool, three big clubs, Brentford hanging around, Newcastle, maybe. It's very tightly knit there, isn't it?
Do you know what it shows as well? It shows where football now is a team game. It's not individual excellence. You know, you can see Real Madrid imploding because they've got too many stars and too many big egos. But if you look at Brentford, look at Villa, you know, like these are a solid team that are getting up there and playing as a team and doing whatever it takes for 3 points, which is why, you know, we had the obvious drama with Salah, because he thought, you know, I should be starting every game regardless of how I play.
Do you know what, Paul? What I'd add to that, I think it's more to do with, and you're right on the point, but it's more to do that teams don't carry anybody anymore.
Yeah.
You just don't carry you can't have a guy that, you know, Salah, we carried at times because he didn't do the defensive work that was required. But you have teams now that across the pitch, Brentford was a great example yesterday. They don't carry anybody in their team. Yeah. And they were a little bit unfortunate to get something out of that particular game. I just think teams can't carry players. And if you look at Manchester United's win yesterday, they didn't carry anybody in that game, which you could have accused them of many a time before.
Yeah, and it's the confidence of the lads as well. It's funny, isn't it? You sign these players for 100 million plus, like Florian Wirtz, and it's just, if they don't hit the ground running, the amount of pressure they must feel.
Yeah, huge pressure.
It's just so intense. But, you know, you got to give these lads time.
Listen, they need to go and have a little chat with the Traitors. Okay, and a little get together. Series 2 was the one you were in, Paul. You were a traitor. I mean, talk about the pressure of this show, because it's just so big. I actually think it saved TV.
Yeah, do you know what? I think it's brought multiple generations back on the sofa, where normally people are in different rooms watching, you know, the streaming channels or talkSPORT, obviously.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, it's phenomenal to have taken part in it. And season 1 was big, you know, and, you know, it felt a bit like cultish, and people like, oh, you know, you've got to go and watch this new BBC show. So season 2 was big, but now it's just, since the Celebrity one, and I don't know what figure you said then, was it 85 million people?
Yeah, similar to 8.1.
yeah, it's close, isn't it? It's just that decimal. Yeah. It's like my bank account. So it's interesting. Like, it's huge, and this season is incredible. When I was in it, it was so tense. The pressure of that round table is horrible. But also it's exhilarating at the same time. It's unlike anything else I've ever taken part in.
Well, I think my missus watches it all the time, and my son gets in the bed with her, and they put it on and they watch it while I'm watching sport. And it feels like it's a test of human behaviour all the time, and how manipulative you can be, how cunning, and that in itself is intriguing, because you're just basically looking at people in general in society.
Yeah, and do you know what? And it is just a massive mirror to society as well. And because it's 22 people and they're in such a tense environment, everything is elevated. So you learn a lot about yourself. You learn a lot about humanity when you're in there as well. I mean, Cass, if you've not seen it, I went through and won the show. No one else tell him what, actually. And I was incredible. But yeah, I mean, to be part of it. Well, what was really weird is watching myself back, and I found it more stressful watching myself back, because I always kept getting caught, than I did when I was actually in the show, because you are just, I mean, you're not even part of reality when you're in that show. It's like a post-apocalyptic world where you're just in this castle and you're the last 22 people left on the planet. Crazy. Like, it is really, really bizarre.
Can I ask you, because there's some chat going around in tabloids and in online that the show might be scripted. Can you shed any light?
Well, if there are script writers, then they need to go and work for Christopher Nolan or something, because the amount of twists and turns is absolutely insane. No script. It is literally 22 random people. Well, actually, some of them aren't random. Some of them might be related, which are lovely little twists. But no, you get no direction. You get no nothing. And I think, because no one knows what these humans are like when even the casting directors, when they put you in there, they have no idea. You might be calm throughout the application process, and on day one lose your head.
Yeah.
Tell us,
never know.
Paul, do you sort of try to look out for someone's game plan? Because it's quite clear that everyone's got this idea of how they think they can win.
Yeah, absolutely. But what's really weird is the better of a game plan you have as a faithful might make you look like a traitor. I think the common theme throughout the show seems to be, if you look like you don't have a clue, you normally stay in the game longer. So if your game plan is to kind of like play stupid a little bit and like, I don't know what's going on, you've probably got more of a chance of winning if you're a faithful. And as a traitor, which is what I was, you know, I tried to have a strategy. I tried to be the American Psycho, the Patrick Bateman of the castle. But I mean, spoiler alert for you, Cass, it didn't really work out for me.
Listen, it's been wild this season so far. Who do you think is going to win?
I want the Traitors to win.
Right.
I think what we might see is the first ever teamwork Traitor win. So Stephen and Rachel seem to actually be working together and trust each other, which is impossible in the castle. So I would love to go through and see them win. That'd be phenomenal.
Who would be the talkSPORT traitor and the talkSPORT loyal?
Well, Cass hasn't watched the show, so that's obviously traitorous behaviour, isn't it? I'm going to say Jamie O'Hara. He's got faithful vibes about him. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He doesn't seem very deceptive. I think what you get is what you see. So I'm going to say he's my top faithful.
Okay, we'll take it. We'll take it from you. Listen, thank you so much. Just before we let you go, is Oliver Glasner been a traitor?
No. His team has been stripped away from him. Like, all of his best players have literally gone. I think his last 3 players are, some of the best in their positions that you can see in the world, or definitely can get there. Sometimes you have to go because you just don't have the squad in order to stay where you want to stay and achieve what you want to achieve. Must be difficult to run a team like that and people keep stripping your best players away. Yeah. And I don't see Palace as a feeder club. I think Palace could really get up there if they actually kept a good squad around them.
Here, Paul, you need to come back and see us soon, because the finale's coming up next week and it's just all over the nation. Traitors, thank you so much for your time, and good luck to Liverpool between now and the end of the season.
Absolutely, as long as we
Paul.
finish above United.
Doubt that. Did you see us yesterday? Wow, we were. Paul Gorton there from Series 2, Traitors. You got to get into it.
That performance yesterday, that suggests they're traitors in the camera, because that's been hidden for a while, by the way.
Oh, brilliant stuff. You enjoying Traitors? You will have enjoyed that then. Paul Gorton from Series 2. Stick with us. We're going to get the latest odds from Coral in a minute. And our man in the know, Alex Crook, will be with us soon to go through all these updates on the managers who are under pressure. It's the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and former Celtic striker Tony Cascarino. Good morning to Scott, the Spurs fans. Could we do a swap with Palace? Glasner, possibly to Spurs. Thomas Frank to Palace? Kind of feels like a bet, maybe.
I would wonder if Spurs hierarchy, if they was considering a type of manager, and obviously they would have witnessed what Glasner said over the last few days, whether they'd like that. There's always that question mark now, because he's been very, very vocal. Shebahn, which some clubs don't really like.
I just don't see him surviving this. I feel like he's absolutely been sacked after that rant yesterday.
I don't know where they can go, because using the words like abandoned is just too far.
Yeah, and any time now you hear a manager talk about the board, that's it, you're done.
Clubs have to make decisions, and you have to make them alongside the manager. If you want to say that the club have not backed Glasner, that's a fair point. But for Glasner to say that he's been abandoned, I don't remember him saying too much when they sold Eze. He's referenced it of late. Mark Gahey, he always knew was going to be going. But the problem is now is the sinking ship feeling, where you go, oh, so now Mateta might be out the door. Oh, and then it'll be Adam Walton. And then, you just wonder the knock-on effect from that, Shebahn.
Well, yeah, which makes me wonder the communication that was had behind the scenes at Palace. He didn't sign that contract. It was the topic of conversation back in the summer.
Well, he could have...
He's not, because I don't think he has been backed, so he's known...
No, you're right. I don't disagree with, that he hasn't been backed. They clearly haven't backed him enough. But I always felt that they knew that he wasn't going to commit himself. Yeah. So that in itself creates another problem.
So perhaps his head's been...
If he'd have come to it, he said, I'll sign a new deal if you give me the guarantees that I can have this amount of money to go into the transfer market and improve my football team.
Yeah, we'll wait and see what happens. Alex Crook's with us very soon with the latest and what's happening there with all of our Glasner Palace fans. 03717 223344. We've been hearing from you all morning. Let us know your thoughts. It's time now to get the latest odds with Coral.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. Get set to bring the cheer this festive season with a sleigh full of free rewards from Coral. 18+ gambleaware.org.
Morning, John Hill. How are you?
Good morning.
Hi,
really well, thank you, Shebahn.
Good.
Great day yesterday, wasn't it, for United, Shebahn? Great result in the Manchester derby.
Just the performance was magic. Sorry, Cass.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, interestingly, Shebahn wanted to know what price for Manchester United for the title.
No, I didn't. He's been so salty.
It's not April Fool's Day. Come on, guys.
Let's have a look at the top of the table first, John, because obviously Arsenal drew, City lost, Villa haven't played yet. So the teams behind are sort of a little bit tighter, but there is a gap. So what's the market telling us?
Yeah, well, despite Arsenal drawing against Nottingham Forest yesterday, they've shortened slightly in our title betting. They're now 1-5, the Gunners, to get their hands on the trophy. Obviously, City, they came away from Old Trafford with nothing, so they're 5-1 out to 5-1. And you mentioned there, Villa, we'll come on to them shortly, but they've just been trimmed into 16-1, and that could get even shorter if they get victory today against Everton. So, great day for Arsenal and great day for Villa. In terms of the next Manchester United manager market for next season, Michael Carrick's gone from 3-1 into 5-2. So he's done his chances no harm, has he, with that start, with that open victory. Obviously, Oliver Glasner, you were just talking about him, he remains a 7-4 favourite. So that's the market on the Manchester United manager on the opening day of next season. So that's one that's obviously probably going to change over the next few months. We'll keep an eye on it. But at the moment, Glasner favourite, but Carrick, great start to his Manchester United reign.
Games to look forward to today: Wolves, Newcastle, Villa, Everton. But we've also got the AFCON final.
We have indeed, yeah. Well, we'll come to that first, actually. I've watched a little bit of this. It's been a good tournament, I have to say. And the home side, Morocco, the fans will be right behind them today. They're 5-4 to beat Senegal in this final. Senegal 5-2. The draw 8-5, which of course would force extra time and penalty. Well, yeah, that's at 7 o'clock today, but 2 Premier League games before them. First up at 2 o'clock, Wolves taking on Newcastle. I had a look here when I was doing my research for this game. Apparently, this is the most entertaining Premier League game of them all. That's regarding both teams scoring in all their fixtures. They played 10 times in Premier League matches, and both teams have scored in every single fixture. So roll on that 0-0 draw today. I've probably jinxed it, but we should get goals today. And Newcastle, they're the favourites at 3-4. Wolves just improved a little bit in recent weeks, haven't they, I think? So they'll be a little bit better than they have been at the start of the season. They're 100-30 for the win, and the draw 14-5. So, Newcastle firm favourites in this one.
John?
Thank you, John. I don't think there's any more sport. There's no racing, is there, today?
There is. Yeah, sorry. Villa, Everton as well. Villa 8-13 to continue their brilliant home record. They're after their 9th consecutive home victory, I think, today, aren't they? So good luck to them in trying to get that record. But there is racing at Windsor. It's day 3 of the Berkshire Winter Million, which has been a great meeting over the last 3 days. We had some great action at Ascot yesterday with John Bon winning the feature there, the Clarence House Chase. The feature today comes at 3 o'clock. It's the Fleur de Lis Chase and Protectorat, the defending champion for Harry and Dan Skelton. That's the odds-on favourite at 10-11. So that's at 3 o'clock today at Windsor. So, great racing. And I was there myself on Friday at Windsor. What a lovely place it is. You arrive, you come out of the train station, the castle right in front of you, the River Thames running right past the racecourse. It really is, a great place to visit if you've not had the chance. So that gets underway at 12:20 today, the action at Windsor.
I used to do Monday nights at Windsor, and it was great racing on Monday nights.
Oh, what a great evening. Yeah,
it really
is. Great atmosphere down there.
John Hill tours of Windsor coming up as well. John, we appreciate your time.
Well, you never know. It could be a documentary.
Have a great Sunday. Take care of yourself. John Hill there. That was a look at the latest odds with Coral. 18+, begambleaware.org, and please gamble responsibly.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. Get set to bring the cheer this festive season with a sleigh full of free rewards from Coral. 18+, gambleaware.org.
Right, Palace fans, is Glasner gone? Also, Thomas Frank, what's next for him at Spurs? Our man in the know, Alex Crook, will hopefully know more next. Hello there, good morning. Welcome to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and former Millwall and Marseille striker Tony Cascarino. Got a big day ahead, haven't you?
Well, I don't know. You've made it a bigger day because I said to you something off air and you said to me, what am I going to wear? And I went, what am I wearing?
Are you wearing this?
Yeah, but it's the premiere of Saipan, the film about Mick McCarthy and Roy Keane,
Yes.
2002 World Cup.
And you're wearing your hoodie.
And I'm going, yes, but I don't think it's a red carpet. I've just got an invitation to go.
Yeah, so you'll walk the red carpet and then there's press there and then they do the interviews.
That means I've got to go out in London and buy something.
You just got to put a shirt on, man. You cannot wear the hoodie. If I see you on a red carpet wearing the hoodie...
I didn't think I would be wearing. I didn't think it would be all red carpet. I've got to wear a shirt. It's a premiere. It's not Tom Hanks doing.
It's the
Castaway.
premiere. Are you doing the interviews or are you just walking?
No, I'm just going along to see the film.
I want to see if Steve Coogan wants to come on the show.
Oh,
you need to
he-
go tap
yeah,
everyone up. They'll look like you look like you're going to mug them.
No,
You
he
go in
might.
your
He might
hoodie.
feel comfortable and say, "Oh, he looks quite casual and easygoing."
Man of the people. Yeah, this is true.
He plays Mick McCarthy.
Yeah.
Steve Coogan.
Yeah. Oh, it should be good. I'm looking forward to seeing that movie. Get
Yeah.
back on as well. Whip out the phone, do a Jim White. Mick, you're live on talkSPORT.
Hi, Steve.
Here's what's coming up for you on talkSPORT today. 9 o'clock, the Sunday edition. Henry Winter and Sean Custis are here doing their warm-ups right now, 11 o'clock. The warm-up is here with Max Rushton and Barry Glendenning, building up to a huge game of Premier League action. Game Day Live, Sam Matterface going around the grounds. We've got updates from Wolves against Newcastle. That's the 2 o'clock kickoff. And 4:30, Villa take on Everton. Villa could go second today within 4 points of Arsenal. That's crazy. Madge and Pard's also taking your calls on the weekend's action from 6:30. And we've got the Trans Euro Express at 9 o'clock. Stay with us here on talkSPORT across the day. You're in for a cracker. If you fancy some tunes, swipe across to Virgin Radio. If you want all the latest from the news, there's Talk there on the app. And there's also Times Radio. Don't forget, Chris Evans back tomorrow on Virgin Radio Breakfast from 6:30. If you haven't seen it, by the way, you need to check out his new look studio. Looks absolutely cracking. It's TFI Friday.
Yeah.
Set up studio. We need to get you in there.
That was a great show, wasn't it?
So
that was
good.
a great show.
I
Wasn't
feel like every time I walk past the studio, I'm like, it's just going back in time. And Chris is on fire. Don't forget Virgin Radio Breakfast back tomorrow with Chris Evans from 6:30 and here on talkSPORT. Ali McCoy is still alongside Jeff Stelling. It's also day one of the Australian Open tennis. Here's Tom Clayton with the latest.
Well, after cruising to a comfortable one-set lead, Cam Norrie's been in a bit more of a battle with the Frenchman Benjamin Bonzi. He's had to save multiple break points and we're closing in on a second set tiebreak. Arthur Ferry, the 23-year-old British qualifier, ranks 185 in the world, has caused the biggest upset so far, beating beating the 20th seed Flavio Caboli. Carlos Alcaraz is also in action later this morning. The women's top seed Aryna Sabalenka is underway against Titi Rakoto Mangarajaona. Sabalenka was broken in the first game but immediately broke back. Earlier, the 11th seed Ekaterina Alexandrova went out to the World 112 Turkish qualifier Zeynep Sonmez. Emma Raducanu's in action later too against Thailand's Mananchaya Sawankyo. A day for long names at the Australian Open.
The Australian Open update on talkSPORT with TNT Sports. Every set exclusively live on TNT Sports. Subscription required. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
It's the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Waking up today, Oliver Glasner, has he still got a job? He went against the board yesterday in a bit of an outburst after Crystal Palace lost away to Sunderland. He said that he's been abandoned by the board and his heart ripped out twice. So is he still going to be the manager there? I highly doubt it. Somebody who will know more, probably not slept last night, is our chief football correspondent Alex Crook. Morning, Crookie.
Okay.
Crookie?
He's
Good
froze.
morning. You froze there. And it was he's frozen again.
Not like his team yesterday. They didn't freeze,
I know.
did they?
Here, Alex, let's just start quickly with Man United. What a performance!
Yeah, I was nice, calm and collected watching that in the Chelsea press room.
I've already said it earlier, Alex. You, after 75 minutes, 2-0 up, and you go, the next 5 minutes, we've got to get through these next 5 minutes. And I've shouted out, what about the 5 minutes after that 5 minutes? But yeah, you're a true fan there, Crookie.
Oh, Crookie, we've lost you again. Okay, we'll get Crookie on the phone.
He's speechless.
He's so speechless. We all were watching that result yesterday.
It was that type of game.
It scored 5 goals. And City just defensively were so off it. And then Haaland couldn't capitalise. And it was just such an amazing performance from Man United, a performance of old.
Well, before the game, and I said it yesterday, that I felt the biggest challenge for United was going to be, can they get the ball back? That was because City obviously hog it. One player that it's really sad to see, but he's not recovered from injury, so like we know is Rodri. He's a fabulous talent, but his injury has taken a hell of a toll on him because he just doesn't seem to be able to get around the pitch. I hope he makes a full recovery because he still looks like he's suffering from that horrific ACL injury.
I wonder if there's anything in this Pep rumour. If you have just joined us, there's a reporter who said last night, don't be surprised if Pep Guardiola walks this week. Now, we don't think there's much in it. Somebody's just thrown this out there, but it's really getting traction. But I'm wondering if there's no smoke without fire here. Yesterday in the pre-match, Pep was so frustrated. He seemed weird. He seemed off. Not weird, that's not the right word, but he seemed in that funny mood that he can be like. And then he brings off Haaland and there's frustration. The team aren't. I wonder if there's something to it.
It's hard to say because football, even you think the impossible can't happen, it does happen. I can't see it at all. I don't think Pep Guardiola, the relationship he's had with the club, and he's always complimented everybody upstairs how brilliant they are to work with and how comfortable he is in the relationship with them. I just don't see that.
Crookie is back with us now. Crookie, I know we're talking about Thomas Frank and Glasner. Have you seen this Pep chat?
Yeah, I'm not sure there's a lot of substance to that, to be honest. I'd be surprised if Guardiola was to walk away as early as this week. Do I think Guardiola will be Manchester City manager come the start of next season? I think that's a bigger question. It wouldn't surprise me if he did leave at the end of the season, but I still feel like he would want to go out in a blaze of glory. Doesn't look like they're going to win the Premier League. Manchester City, they're still in contention for the Champions League. So let's see what happens in those competitions and then go from there. But as I say, it wouldn't completely surprise me if this were to be Guardiola's last season in charge, but I don't think it'll be his last week, as some people have suggested.
Crookie, tell us about the Glasner stuff, because obviously there's Thomas Frank and there's Glasner. Managers feel like they're under increased pressure at this present time. Where are we on both issues, on Thomas Frank and Glasner?
Well, it seems to be a growing trend, doesn't it? Enzo Maresca started it, Ruben Amorim followed suit, and now we've seen Oliver Glasner join the party of managers having a direct pop at the hierarchy, at the sporting directors. I think in this case it was aimed very much at Steve Parish following the sale of Mark Gay to Manchester City. I do sympathise a little bit with Oliver Glasner because it felt like a sliding doors moment for Palace in the summer. They won the FA Cup. Obviously, they ended up being demoted from the Europa League, which did take some of the shine off that FA Cup success. They didn't really reinvest in the squad in the summer. They lost Eberici Eze. They kept hold of Mark Gay, but I think they're in an impossible situation, really, when you get to a scenario whereby your captain only has 6 months left on his contract. You get the opportunity to make some money by way of a transfer fee. I think they had to sell him in this window. And I have to say, it's probably as angry as I've ever seen a Premier League manager to come out and use words like abandoned. I don't think this ends well for Oliver Glasner. I'd be surprised, like they were saying on Match of the Day last night, if he is still the Crystal Palace manager.
He's got to be
come
gone.
the next Premier League weekend. Yeah, I think he'll go. I think Steve Parish was weighing up the decision last night. And what I was also told last night was he actually blindsided the hierarchy there. They weren't expecting him, even though they knew he was leaving, to come out and make it public, as he did in that press conference on Friday.
Yeah.
Thomas Frank?
Thomas Frank is a little bit more debatable, but I think we can certainly say his future is in the balance. We saw it again at Spurs yesterday. The atmosphere between Thomas Frank and the supporters, I think, probably has reached the point of no return. It was really toxic at full time, and after Callum Wilson had scored that late winner, I think the Spurs board have been determined to stand by their man. Thomas Frank believes he still has the support of the hierarchy, but they are considering options, whether they replace the manager now or wait until the summer when the likes of Mauricio Pochettino becomes available. I think he'll probably get the Dortmund game in the Champions League in midweek, but if they lose that one, it looks a difficult fixture. I think the writing is probably on the wall for Thomas Frank as well. We could see 2 departures this week from the Premier League.
Manager swap, have you heard this chat that possibly it could be Glasner to Spurs and Thomas Frank to Palace?
Well, I think he'd be a contender on Oliver Glasner based on what he's done at Crystal Palace. And actually, I think Thomas Frank would be a good fit at Crystal Palace as well. But you look at Thomas Frank, he bears the look of a haunted man at this moment in time. I think he's been scarred by his experiences at Tottenham. So potentially, if he does leave, I think he might want a little bit of time to take stock before going straight back in. And obviously, Glasner knows there's a big job at Manchester United coming available in the summer. I don't make him favourite. I think Thomas Tuchel is probably the one they want, but I think he's certainly a contender.
All right. Crookie, thank you so much for your time this morning. Go pay your Wi-Fi bill, all right?
I'll do my best.
Have a good Sunday. Alex Crook there, back with us tomorrow here on talkSPORT, probably across the day actually, if anything else happens or develops, which it likely will, with Oliver Glasner or Thomas Frank. You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we're going to speak to golfer Chris Wood about PGA and Liv.
for Super Bowl 60 on talkSPORT.
Good morning. Welcome along to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT with Shebahn Aherne Tony Cascarino. Tell me you watch the Super Bowl, mister. I won't watch Traitors and I won't watch anything else that's good, but you watch your sports. You watch.
Yeah, I watch a lot of sport. I've never watched the Super Bowl.
Oh my God, get in the bin.
I've seen bits, but I've never sat down and watched that. It's about 5 hours.
Jamie and I sometimes, when we'll have like a few drinks, we'll just watch back Super Bowl halftime shows.
Oh, yeah, but you're not watching the Super Bowl then. You're just watching a halftime show.
Well, that's if I watch it back.
Yeah.
But I do watch the Super Bowl. Don't really have a clue what's happening, but the halftime show is good fun.
I've never, ever got into American football.
Well, we could be sending you there.
You've
if
killed
you're
this,
a massive fan. Take that all back, Cass. You and a loved one could be heading to the Super Bowl on the 8th of February. All thanks to us here. We've got 3 nights accommodation in a lovely hotel. Accommodation, flights sorted to San Francisco, and spending money. Here's how you can get involved for your chance to win. Text the word WIN to 83338. Text costs £2.50 plus your one standard network rate. You could have been a salesman. Or call this number 0343 418 7260. That's 0343 418 7260. The lines close at 22nd of January at 4 p.m. and then if we call you, you have to answer to be within the chance of winning. 18 plus, it's UK residents only. It's a network promotion, and all of the terms and conditions, if you'd like to read them, good fun, jump onto our website talksport.com for your chance to win tickets to the Super Bowl, 8th of February. Flights, accommodation and spending money. Text the word WIN to 83338 or call 0343 418 7260. Good luck. Touchdown. Also, don't forget, check out the latest talkSPORT Daily podcast. It's the best place to get a bite-sized chunk of what you need to know about in the world of sport. We're reflecting on AFCON, where we're at now. Flex, Kwaku Afari, Tony Afoki, our lads out there who've been covering AFCON, will be across it all. They're also reflecting on the tournament as a whole and revisiting the standout performances, major flashpoints and the most memorable moments. It's Senegal facing Morocco in the final. And looking forward to that one, all the updates coming for you on talkSPORT. Here's a taster of what's to come in the talkSPORT Daily podcast. Debated whether Mo Salah never winning the AFCON affects his standing as one of the greatest African players of all time. Oh, come on.
Is George Weah on the Mount Rushmore of African players? You probably say, yeah, won a Ballon d'Or, won a Champions League. You say, is Didier Drogba on the Mount Rushmore of African players? You probably say, yeah.
Do you? This is the thing. Do you, though?
Yeah. Yeah.
But what is that? What makes you? Are we saying here what makes you a truly great African player is you must have won AFCON? Is that what? Are we saying that?
I think because there's a lot of African players who have won the things that Didier Drogba have won. There's African players that have won the Premier League. There are African players that have won the Champions League. So then once you do that, you go back to your nation and say, okay, did you go back to your tournament? And considering that people suggest that AFCON is easier than the Euros or easier than the Champions League, did you go back and help your nation win the tournament? And for Didier Drogba, unfortunately, he didn't.
What do you think about that, Cass? Do you have to have won AFCON to be considered one of the greatest?
No, not really.
Yeah.
I think it's, if you've been a great player all through your career and you've made, like Yaya Toure, you could think of what a great player he was, and he achieved a hell of a lot of club level. Some players don't, it's like saying George Best wasn't the greatest player, but he never played international football at tournaments, but he was one of the greatest players in history in a lot of people's minds. So if you're a great player, and Mo Salah has clearly been that for Liverpool. So I don't see it as a valid stand-up argument.
All the latest from the talkSPORT Daily podcast on AFCON. Don't forget all the updates coming for you today from the final AFCON, Senegal facing Morocco. Stay with us here at talkSPORT for all of the latest and download the talkSPORT Daily podcast now on the talkSPORT app. Let's focus on Liv, shall we? It's been a dramatic and a week of conversation when it comes to the Liv Tour. Brooks Koepka has returned to the PGA Tour, a move that could set a precedent for the other Liv players possibly. Liv now, as a result, have increased its 2026 prize purse to 30 million. They're all about the cash, aren't they? And Brooks Koepka's taken the wage cut for going back to the PGA. The next few seasons will determine whether elite men's golf remains split or moves towards reunification. Pleased to say now, talking us through the whole situation, is European Tour champion Chris Wood. Morning, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Morning. Good morning, guys.
Yeah. Where do you stand, Chris? Because obviously golf, from the PGA's perspective, they've raised prize money enormously since Liv came on board. Liv is trying to obviously still have that massive impact, but lost Brooks Koepka. Where do you stand on where golf is at the moment?
Well, it's so obviously split, isn't it? It's not good for the game. I think Brooks coming back to the PGA Tour is a massive coup for the PGA Tour, obviously. He's come out of his Liv contract a year early, which says a lot about how he felt personally, I suppose. And obviously we've had the likes of Bryson and Phil Mickelson, John Rahm, who obviously big names who are playing Liv. They've come out since Brooks has left, and all the noise from them is we're really happy and I'm under contract and that sort of thing. So, I mean, the PGA Tour have dangled a carrot basically for this loophole for major winners. I think it's within the last 5 years. So there are only 4 players currently playing Liv. They're eligible to return to the PGA Tour at this current moment. And that's Brooks, who's taken that, Cameron Smith, John Rahm, and Bryson. And from the PGA Tour side of things, it's pretty clever. They've said this loophole might not be there forever. So it's almost a now or never thing. And so far, Brooks is the only one that's made that decision.
Yeah. It's a really strange set of circumstances because you have players that are obviously coming to the end of their career who have joined Liv and playing less golf and maybe a little bit more time with family. But you've had also players that are, Cameron Smith was a top player. John Rahm, I think, and you'll tell me if I'm wrong on this, Chris, was number 1 in the world when he left to go to the Liv Tour.
Yeah, it's tricky. I mean, Cameron Smith is somebody who, when I talk to other players, when you watch golf, he was somebody I genuinely enjoyed watching. He was Open champion, and like you say, John Rahm, Tyrrell Hatton was, again going so well. But in fairness to Tyrrell, he qualified for the Ryder Cup last year by playing a very limited number of events that qualified towards the points. So there are a few players that have maintained the level of their game whilst playing less golf, and also by playing 3 rounds, not 4, by not having a cut. So there is an element of comfort on the Liv side of things. But in fairness to those players, they've kept their game at such a high level. You've also seen the opposite, players that when they went to Liv were at the top of the game, and then now because of their decision they only play in the majors if they, like Dustin Johnson for example, he won the Masters during COVID, so he's still eligible for all the majors. He struggles to make the cut in majors now, so it goes both ways. But it needs resolving sooner rather than later.
Just a brief one, Chris, on this one is who do you think will show the muscle next? Will it be the PGA, or do you think Liv will come up with something that, again, will excite players to go to the Liv Tour?
Oh, well, I thought Rory made a good point this week. He's in Dubai playing, and he said even if they re-signed Bryson, so Bryson's going into the last year of his contract, I think, with Liv. And even if they're obviously in talks or negotiations to continue, even if they paid him astronomical money again, it doesn't change what they're offering Liv. There aren't at the moment, there aren't noises coming out that they're making huge marquee signings going into this season. And that's what will shift the dial for Liv. I hate talking about it really because, because
sorry,
the bottom line with the Liv thing is the financial side of it, and I don't like golf's not. It shouldn't be about that. It should be about the history, like the European Tour, for example, like winning the Spanish Open. Like Seve's won it, Faldo's won it. It's just like playing the back nine. To win an event like that is so, it means so much.
Yeah, and do you know what? Bryson really was like, I'll see it through to the end of my contract. Even he just couldn't get pumped for it. You can't get pumped for Liv. Like, in all honesty, it doesn't seem like that. Chris Wood, thank you so much for your time this morning. Sorry we made you talk about Liv.
Anytime, cheers.
Take care of yourself.
Cheers, Chris. Great having you on.
From the European Tour. Massive day coming up for you here on talkSPORT today. All the updates coming from the Premier League here on Game Day Live. 2 o'clock, Wolves, Newcastle. 4:30, Villa could go within 4 points of Arsenal and second in the table if they beat Everton at Villa Park. Glasner might get the tic-tac, as might Thomas Frank. It is crazy times. Man United beat Man City. Mama needs to go for a lie down. Cass, I'll see you.
Just be happy.
Don't worry about it, guys. Just be happy. West Ham fans, put your hands in the air. Woo, you got a win yesterday. Take care. The warm-up. No, wait, what's next? Yeah, the Sunday edition. With Sean and Henry on the way next. Enjoy.
Be happy.